just going to be the video for the first bit. I've got it on your shot on the scoreboard.
It's time to elevate your finances. Introducing Ascend Checking, the new free checking account from P1FCU that pays you dividends. Earn 1.45% APY on balances up to $15,000. Plus, get online and mobile banking and mobile deposit with no minimum balance requirements. Level up your finances with Ascend Checking. To open your account, visit p1fcu.org/ascend. P1FCU, a Pacific Northwest original since 1938.
Some days, I choose the most difficult trail. I test my limits.
Taking the hard path isn't always easy, but I know it's the right way.
When I get done with my ride and I look back at what I've just accomplished, I feel amazing.
It takes courage and determination to do hard things.
But you can do them.
Quitting tobacco and vaping is possible.
You decide when. We'll show you how. Learn more at projectfilter.org or call 1-800-QUIT-NOW.
You can't make summer stand still, so make the most of every last second with a new Toyota at Toyota's National Sales Event.
During Toyota's National Sales Event, discover our wide variety of fuel-efficient electrified vehicles. Toyota, let's go places.
We're Valley-wide country store. For 100 years, we've been your #1 choice for food, fuel, farm supplies, and just about everything else you could need to get you through your day. We know you work until the job is done, and so do we. For gas on the go, or a little extra to help you get down the road, you can count on us. We are proud to employ your neighbors and to be a cornerstone of your community. We're Valley-wide. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. We're here for you.
Vaping sucks you in quick, and the more you vape, the harder it is to quit. Not to mention all the chemicals and health problems. That's why thousands of teens are joining My Life, My Quit. Visit mylifemyquit.com or text Start My Quit to 36072.
All right, we're back. I don't have our volume turned up yet.
Okay. Well, the nice thing is we'll be right here in the thick of it when we talk.
Exactly. We kind of got a live audience, honestly.
That's right, yeah, and they fed you, so.
Yeah, so they're expecting a good performance.
That's right.
Ugh, let me just, get that burp out of the way. Like you said.
The first of many.
All right. What the heck? You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready, and Tim.
3, 2. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Moscow, Idaho, here in District 2 on IdahoSports.com, and we've got another contest for you here. It's the Logos Knights hosting the Kamiah Cubs. Good to be back with you folks, ladies and gentlemen, those of you tuning in, and I'm joined by, as always, the coach, Jason Hansen. Jason, good to be back with you.
It is awesome. This is perfect weather, and I got a big old belly full of food. Thank heavens to the old Logos Mac and Cheese Shack hooking us up.
Oh, yeah, Jason and I will be asleep at halftime for those of you tuning in, so that should be a fun second half. Folks, we've been here before in Logos, a very scenic setting as you got the Moscow Mountains in the background there. We're in the heart of the Palouse, as it is game night on the Palouse, and, of course, we got the rolling hills of wheat in the background there, too. Just a perfect setting for football, Jason.
Yes, without a doubt, and it's going to be an interesting matchup between a power run team and a spread them out and see if we can't wing it around the yard.
Well, hey, since you brought it up, let's talk about the two teams here tonight. First, we'll start with the visiting Kamiah Cubs. And, Jason, why don't you jump in a little bit with Kamiah. Last year, they were only able to put up 2 wins on the season, and one of those wins was Logos, 50-6.
Yeah, and it really got to be a situation where the Kamiah kind of wore themselves down during the course of the season. So Coach Clute was definitely making sure that his guys stay fresh. And it's one of those where it's going to be that power run look. They have a 3-back offense from the last couple of weeks, and he's leaned hard on that offensive line led by Porter Whipple.
And, hey, while we're on the subject, the power boosters for tonight's game, they're on the Kamiah side. We got Nimi Poo Fund, Cloninger Foods of Kamiah, and we want to thank our power boosters there. Now,
Good evening
thus far
and welcome to
on the
Logos
season
Field
here,
for this White Pine League contest
on
between
this
the
part
Cubs
here,
of Kamiah
we've got
High School
on the 22-23
your
season
Logos
thus far for
Knights.
Kamiah. They've defeated Lapway 34-28 and then lost to Raft River on this
Logos
last one.
School,
So
the
1-1
White
on the
Pine
season
League
thus
in
far,
the IHS
hoping to get in the win column again this week.
Yeah, and that was a tough matchup between Lapway and Kamiah right off the bat, and then to lock horns this early with Raft River, which could be easily a playoff team. Definitely a situation where it's 1-1, and that record is nothing to shake a stick at.
Well, folks, it looks like we're getting ready for the national anthem here, so we will go ahead and put on pause, and we'll be right back after these messages.
There is concessions, which are a fundraiser for the 7th grade history trip, and there's some great
It's time to elevate your finances. Introducing Ascend Checking, the new free checking account from P1FCU that pays you dividends. Earn 1.45% APY on balances up to $15,000. Plus, get online and mobile banking and mobile deposit with no minimum balance requirements. Level up your finances with Ascend Checking. To open your account, visit p1fcu.org/ascend. P1FCU, a Pacific Northwest original since 1938.
You can't make summer stand still, so make the most of every last second with a new Toyota at Toyota's National Sales Event.
During Toyota's National Sales Event, discover our wide variety of fuel-efficient electrified vehicles. Toyota, let's go places.
It can be a lot, trying to figure out how to make it, how to dream big, and to wonder, what if? Because no matter where you are in life, if you don't know what's possible in Idaho, it's hard to keep asking, what if? Which is exactly why Next Steps Idaho was created, with everything from smart tools that help you figure out careers you might be suited for, to training and education options for you. So keep asking what if at nextsteps.idaho.gov.
Some days, I choose the most difficult trail. I test my limits.
Taking the hard path isn't always easy, but I know it's the right way.
When I get done with my ride and I look back at what I've just accomplished, I feel amazing.
It takes courage and determination to do hard things.
But you can do them.
Quitting tobacco and vaping is possible.
You decide when. We'll show you how. Learn more at projectfilter.org or call 1-800-QUIT.
It's time to elevate your finances. Introducing Ascend Checking, the new free checking account from P1FCU that pays you dividends. Earn 1.45% APY on balances up to $15,000. Plus, get online and mobile banking and mobile deposit with no minimum balance requirements. Level up your finances with Ascend Checking. To open your account, visit p1fcu.org/ascend. P1FCU, a Pacific Northwest original since 1938.
Junior number 13, Quentin Millage.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here
also
on IdahoSports.com as we are in the heart of the Palouse here in Moscow, Idaho, overlooking some rolling hills of wheat, as you can see on your screens there. And Jason and I just got done talking about the Kamiah Cubs and their season thus far. Let's go ahead and jump over to the Logos side of things. Now, Jason, last year Logos made the jump into the 1A D1 side of things in the White Pine League. And, you know, they had some really bright moments for an inaugural season in this league.
Yeah, there was a lot for Coach Holloway to be thinking. There's a lot of positives that making that jump, like you mentioned, and we always talk about how this might be the SEC as far as being a tough. Every week is a tough matchup, and you know, making those baby steps. And I think Coach is thinking, okay, this is going to be a nice test to know where we are as far as the season going.
You know, some of those, and one of those games on the season last year was Kamiah, where they fell to the Kamiah Cubs 50-6. And so this year, this side of things, let's see how the Logos Knights are doing. They've started the season 0-2 thus far. They lost their opening game against Council 40-14, and then they fell in a really tight contest against Clearwater Valley 68-58. That was a good basketball game.
Yeah, that's right. That broadcast would have taken a little while, but I think it's definitely one of those where the offense has gotten going now, and they must be feeling a lot more comfortable with what they hope to do. Like I said, it's going to be a different look when Logos has the ball. It's going to be spread out, guys doing different formations, and it's going to put a lot of pressure on the kids from Kamiah to be able to identify who's eligible and what might be the route.
And you know, something that's also interesting is former Washington State head coach Nick Rolovich has also been in contact here at Logos. He's been assisting Coach Holloway set up this offense and this scheme. And Coach Holloway had nothing but good things to say about Rolovich in his preparation for the season.
Yeah, coaches love to coach no matter what's going on, what level it is. And they always got a pad of paper next to them going, I wonder if this would work. And, you know, guys like Nick are going to be thinking, okay, well, I'm going to definitely go ahead and pick that up and see if we can't make it a go of it.
Now, Jason, we've obviously talked about the teams as a whole thus far, but who are some players that the folks at home should be looking out to? We've got the Kamiah Cubs on the far side. Who are you watching for the Cubs?
Well, I think I'm going to go quarterback. Dave Clute, quarterback from Kamiah, is going to be handing that ball off to a number of running backs, and if he can just manage the game, keep the pressure off, and then use his skill level about getting out of the pocket and getting some yards, I think that'll be one of those things for him to do. And then on the other side, when Logos has the ball, it's going to be Jack Driscoll. And if he can stay upright and keep his shirt clean, of course it's going to be hard to tell if it gets too dirty with the Navy on, but it's definitely one of those where if the O-line can do their job and he can wing it around the yard, we'll not only stay till about midnight, I think, but it's going to be one of those where we could be lighting up the scoreboard again tonight.
That's right, and that's just what we want for the folks at home as well. And the officials for tonight's game here in District 2, Dan Davenport's the head referee, Paul Elston, Jaden Gudry, is that always?
Yeah, let's take it.
We'll
Gudry.
roll with that. Yep. You take your pick at home. Jamin Udi, and then Ryan Lawrence as well. So we got ourselves a good crew here tonight.
Well, and we appreciate those guys. This league is short, as we will say next week. We're actually doing a broadcast on a Thursday, and so the officials are trying to move their schedules around to make sure the kids can keep playing, and nobody loses a game because the officials can't show up.
Thursday night football. Never thought I'd be saying that, but here we are.
Us in the NFL. Which one are you going to watch?
Obviously, IdahoSports.com. I mean, come on. And, folks, brought to you by our major advertising partners, Project Filter, Valley-Wide Cooperative, the Idaho Transportation Department, the Idaho Department of Health and Welfare, Next Steps Idaho, and your local Toyota dealers. And folks, make the memories last a lifetime by owning the digital game file of this game for just $9.95. It's either that or a gallon of gas. Just click the button in the top right to order. And it looks like
selects to receive.
Jason, if I saw that correctly, it looks like Logos is going to go ahead and select.
Yeah, I like the game within the game. So they won the coin flip and they want the ball first, which, again, is probably one of those where let's get a look at that offense and see if we can't see how well Kamiah can keep up with it.
Yeah, so for you folks at home, you're about to see a very unique offense here with the Logos Knights. So, Jason, why don't you dive in a little bit to what they might be seeing when the Knights are on the field?
So, in 8-man, there's only 3 people who are not eligible. And so if you spread everybody out, it puts a lot of pressures to identify whether or not that's a guard or receiver. Because if 5 people step on the line of scrimmage way off to the left, the guys on the right would be eligible, or at least the outside guys. And so it's really one of those things where it could be where the defense is really running around pointing at each other, and by the time they start figuring out which one is eligible, they snap the ball and the ball's away.
So a lot to look out for tonight. And neither I nor the PA man can see who's back to receive for the Knights. So
they should have to turn this way for everybody's 100%.
Benefit. But set to kick for the Cubs is number 45, William Millage, the senior tight end and defensive end. So they got a big kicker lined up over there. And we got 2 Knights back deep to receive with their feet just inside the 25. And this one is a onside kick attempt. And it looks like the Cubs got it. We'll see what the official ruling is.
Well, and the officials are kind of talking to each other, too, about what just happened. It went the necessary 10 yards, and Kamiah came up with it. I'm not sure if it went out of bounds.
Starts and recovers an onside kick.
And I think that, again, not only are they trying to identify, but by using that kind of kickoff could be an indication of we really want to wait to see it.
Right. And from our standpoint, that looked like just a squib kick, but that was designed. We'll roll with it. And so the Kamiah Cubs will actually start with possession right at midfield, lined up on the left hash, and they're going to come out in that power run formation, the I formation. They're going to spot this one officially. Ball on the 48-yard line. Getting the chain set up here. And folks, the weather here is perfect, by the way. Years past, we've been here in Moscow earlier in the afternoon. It's been a little bit hotter, but not tonight. I formation look. They hand it right up the middle. The running back slips. He tries to run up the middle to no avail. Good stop there from that Logos front.
Yeah, nice job by the defense right there, filling it up. I think the slip might have helped them, but they were in position no matter what.
Few inches on the play.
That was number 20, Colton Ocean, the junior running back, taking it right up the middle into the teeth of that Knights defense. They got 3 down linemen. And they're going to hand it off up the middle once again, and he's brought down after a short gain. Again, good penetration there from the Knights.
Yeah, and that was a nice job by the defense right there. Gus Grocki, the only senior on the roster, does a nice job of following his guard. It was a little bit of a counter play, a little bit slow developing, and because of that, they were able to get right where they needed to be.
3rd and 8 after a gain of 2 on that run. Ball spotted at the 46-yard line. Pressure being shown off the edge from the Knights. Back to pass, looking. He's going to be rolling to his right, being pressured. Still can't find a target. He has to take it and run, and he's pushed out of bounds. And they're going to spot this well short of the first down marker. So a great first stand by the Knights. This still could be 4 down territory.
Yeah, definitely, especially being on the far side of the 50. But granted, he was. It looked like it was near a first down, but because he got pushed out early, and a quick spot puts him in quite a predicament here with 4th and really long.
It's going to be 4th and 7, we'll call it. They're going to come out in a shotgun look here. More of a pistol, rather. And pressure being sent right up the middle by the Knights. Quarterback's looking, rolling left. He's going to keep it himself and move forward. And he is brought down. That's a turnover on downs, and the Knights defense responds.
Yeah, and that's a nice job by Logos right there. Just kind of not only pursuing Clute, the quarterback, but also keeping him contained. He was really looking to get down the sideline. He's got that number 28 as a number, and it makes him almost like a running back. But this time they were able to get him corralled and get him down quick. And here we are. We have guys eligible. The people at the closest side, clear down here on the bottom of the screen, are actually on the field.
So this is an incredibly wide formation. 1 down lineman and then 2 almost hatchback players. One of them goes in motion to the near side. And they're going to throw it that direction, and it's kind of a block here. And they've got the sideline wide open. That's number 32 for the Knights, Lucius Comas.
So Kamiah was out of position right there. They had two offensive players down here, and it's hard to tell if they're a guard and a tight end or they're 2 running backs. And so they were outmanned simply because they only had 1 defender and 2 offensive players over there. Plus they sent a 3rd, and so it was 3 offensive versus 2.
So that's a first down just like that, and the Knights are rolling once again. A bit of a faster pace on this offense. And once again, 55 goes in motion off the left side, and they're going to throw it deep. And that was a nice wheel route there. The intended target for Jack Driscoll was Henry Sunley.
And that's the pressure we were talking about. If you get a little pressure on him, see how his feet get set. That's what quarterbacks who like to throw don't like, is when they have people near him and around him.
So 2nd and 10 after the incompletion. Driscoll has been lined up in the gun for every snap thus far, and he's going to continue to do so, considering he doesn't exactly have an offensive line.
So there's two receivers at the bottom of the screen and 2 way out at the very top.
Driscoll surveys the field. Motion from Comas, and they hand it to Comas on a sweep. And he's good containment from the Cubs right there, and he's brought down. That was number 33, Caden Degroot, on the tackle.
Yeah,
that comes in late.
Very similar to what we were just praising Logos for. Kamiah does the same thing. Just kind of keep that running back in the formation, and everybody kind of rallied up. But we did have a flag. Be interesting to see if this is a hold or maybe defensive holding or something like that because of all the formations. Guys just trying to read it and grabbing as they go.
We'll see what the call is. from the officials. But as it stands right, so it's a block in the back. Penalties declined, and they want to keep it that way because they want the loss of downs. And that's going to be make it 3rd and long.
15 on the
looking at 3rd and 15 here for the Knights. Once again, 2 wide receivers on either side, split far from the center at the middle. Motion from the far side, and he fakes it that direction, comes back to the near side of the field. That's Comas. Comas makes one man miss, but he's brought down, and once again, that was Degroot, back-to-back tackles.
Yeah, that's nice execution on offense, but defense given that cushion rather than pressing the action, they're able to kind of hang back, make them declare what they're going to do. Having that penalty really helped that out, but here we are, 4th and long.
So 4th and 9 for the Knights after that pickup of 6. Ball's going to be spotted. We'll call it the 38-yard line. Motion from 2 Knights players here. That's number 5, Paul Greaser, going in motion across the formation. They're going to send it deep over the top to Comas, and it's incomplete. That was an excellent throw, but better coverage from number 20, Colton Ocean.
Yeah, kind of just threw his name up right, or his hand up right there and poked it away at the last second. Obviously, the Logos fans are thinking, come on, that was early. But nice execution by the defense. Now we're right back to where we were, 0-0. And everybody takes a quick little breather and got to go play some defense or get that offense going.
So 2 defenses thus far exchanging blows. 1st and 10. Ball spotted at the 38. And they're going to hand it right up the middle to O'Kane, who hurdles a defender and then lunges forward.
Number 20, Colton O'Kane from Kamiah.
Yeah, O'Kane did a nice job right there. Instead of slipping and falling, this time he kind of hurled up. And Kamiah, because they're going to be more of a run team, yeah, this is the schedule they're hoping, where they can be a little bit more of a 3 yards in a cloud of dust.
2nd and 5. O'Kane once again up the middle, follows his blockers straight into a Logos defender. And that's near a 1st down spot. We'll call it 3rd and short from the looks of it.
I think it's going to come down to the spot. Sorry about that. Yes. Maybe a measurement.
And they're trying to get the clock to stop here.
So the Kamiah kind of probed and did a couple of different things the last time they had the ball. This time they've been pretty much trying to blast the ball north-south. Literally, it's north and south on this field. And just trying to get him, O'Kane, with some positive yards and those blockers kind of pushing back instead of what we saw last time with Logos defenders chasing, pulling guards.
So it looks like they're going to get the chain gang out on the field.
We'll find out how straight these lines are.
Chains out.
So this would be the, other than the Knights' 1st down, this would be the Cubs' first down of the night if they're able to convert here. After the Knights stuffed them, and there it is, 1st down.
1st down, Kamiah on the 47.
Well, nobody really wants to see the punt except for the punter's parents, and so let's see what happens here on offense with what's going on as far as the running and the tackling.
1st and 10. Ball's going to be spotted at the 47-yard line. And they're going to hand it. They go right up the middle to the fullback. Good design play there. That was number 25, Colton Sams, on the carry.
Yeah, Sams has been the fullback in most of that. This time they give it the quick handoff, get that first down right off the bat. We're back on the ball for a run first team. They're definitely wanting to go quick huddle.
I formation look once again. They go right back to O'Kane. O'Kane lowers the shoulder, continues to drive the feet, and he pulls the pile close to that 1st down marker as a pickup of 7, we'll call it from here. 2nd and 3.
2nd and 3 after that run by O'Kane.
And they go right back to O'Kane. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And he stays on his feet. And he's brought down. What a push, what a run from O'Kane. And there's a flag down after the play. And it looks like it's face mask against the Knights.
Well, it'll be interesting because Logos, because they have to respond to that power run up the middle. The defense has definitely shrunk up into the tight end box. And so it's going to be interesting to see if Kamiah tries to hit something to the outside here.
So after the penalty, that's going to be an automatic first down, 15-yard penalty. And suddenly the Cubs are going to be knocking on the door here in the red zone. So here's the mark off here. And now, Jason, when the run is being this successful for the Cubs, this can certainly open the playbook up in other areas.
Correct, because now everybody's to this half of the field. The far side of the field is wide open.
And here they go. They go for the option to the far side, but he keeps it himself. That's a quarterback keeper, and he's brought down from behind. That was number 34, Jonathan Morrill on the tackle.
And there's Clute, just like I mentioned. He's been giving the ball away. This time he takes that option right up the hole, follows his blockers, and gets north-south.
So that's the quarterback, number 28, Dave Clute, sophomore. And he's going to hand this one off up the middle, and he runs into a swarm of Knights, and he's brought down after very little, if any at all.
Yeah, and now they're really responding. They're respecting that and getting off their blocks a lot faster. You can see the Logos players kind of talking to each other, saying, hey, we got to do this, we got to do that.
So it's going to be 2nd and 9 after the gain of 1. I formation look. That is number 7, Everett Oatman, the freshman on the far side. He's looking Oatman's direction. That's Clute. And he's going to keep it himself, rolling to the right side, tries to spin upfield, and he's brought down.
And again, nice job by the outside defenders, keeping him getting away from down the sideline, where that's where he likes to get a lot of his yards.
And thus far, good job by the offensive line of the Cubs, just giving their quarterback Clute a lot of time back in the pocket. Not a lot of penetration thus far from the Knights. So it's going to be 3rd and 6. Ball spotted inside the 10. Oatman goes in motion to the far side of the field. He's matched up against number 8, Seamus Wilson. And they hand it off to O'Kane up the middle, and he lowers the boom. Picks up some solid yardage, and that was Lucius Comas, the receiving end of that one.
And we talked about it, the two different kinds of strategies here. Everybody pretty much knows where the ball's going. It's just a matter of, can you stop it?
Excuse me, that was Gus Grocky who took the hit there on that run. So it's going to be 4th and 2. Big play here. I formation look. And the jump count got him. And Jason, you and I have seen that quite a bit this year in our various games we've covered.
Yeah, in the defender's defense, though, I'm not sure this is an automatic first down. Simply because if you only get half the distance, and of course I'm wrong from where I'm standing.
Well, to be fair, our depth perception, from this angle is kind of tough.
Hey, thank you for looking out for me. Again, the defenders on the
complaints to Paul at no. I'm kidding. And they go right up the middle. That's the fullback, number 25, Colton Sams, and he's stuffed before he can get in the end zone from the looks of it.
Well, and you have not only the stuff, but you also have a penalty on this, so this could be an important penalty call right here.
And it's against the Cubs.
And they're wanting to get out of the huddle and get to the line of scrimmage before the defense can adjust, but you have to get set first before you move. It's only the 5-yard variety there.
So it's still going to be 1st and, well, we'll see what the marker is over there. It should still be 1st and goal.
It'll be 1st and 5. Really 1st and goal.
Call coming in from the sideline here for the Cubs as they huddle up. Now this is where we'll really see the mettle of this Logos defense. This is a school that's got a lot of cross country, it's got a lot of basketball success, but a different kind of athlete when it comes to being in the trenches.
Yep, that's right. Who wants it more? Guys have been practicing this for a month.
I formation look. Everybody's bunched in here for the Cubs. They're going to fake the pitch. Quarterback rolls to the right. Both targets are covered up, so he's going to lower them to shoulder himself and drive forward. And he's brought down before he can reach the end zone, so this Knights defense is still hanging on.
Yeah, nice job right there, breaking off their coverage because the receivers ran into the end zone. They were able to get back to the line of scrimmage and push him out before he did much damage.
Second goal on
that was
the
number
2 for
28,
Kamiah.
Dave Clute on the carry, the sophomore quarterback and linebacker, and he certainly has the build of a linebacker as he towers over his running backs in the backfield. Once again, an I formation look. That's number 7, Everett Oatman, going in motion. Now going to the near side of your screen there. Man-to-man coverage against number 22, Max Hawthorne. And it's going to be an option play. Clute keeps it himself, runs forward. And that's 6. Touchdown Cubs. They draw first blood.
Well, and again, nice defensive stand by Logos, rallying up. But just that power run game we've been talking about, we saw him trying to stretch the edges with the quarterback. This time he gets up the middle.
And as is custom in 8-man, they're going to kick it. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah,
they're going to
right.
go.
I'll take that bet.
They're going to go for 2 here. Oatman on the far side, and on the near side, that is O'Kane. But Clute's just going to keep it himself. And he is short. Good stand there from the Knights.
Well, and those, because both teams are going to go for that on every touchdown, those become super important as the game progresses.
And so as it stands, Kamiah takes a 6-0 lead. And boy, Jason, as you know, the NFL's back on, right?
Yeah, I've heard that.
Last night, the Buffalo Bills took on the LA Rams. And let me just say this. The reason I bring that up is the quarterback, Dave Clute. He reminded me a little bit of Josh Allen there, the way he was running around.
Well, and it's going to be Driscoll's turn to match that, which hopefully does a little better than Stafford did last night. But it's going to be one of those where, okay, we've seen the best of what Kamiah does on offense. Now it'll be Logos' turn to match that. We got a first look at it. They got to shake off the cobwebs. Now it's going to be their turn to see, okay, what did work, what didn't work, and how can they implement it a little bit better on this possession.
And for those of you keeping score at home, the Buffalo Bills came out on top, 31-10. We've got all the facts here on IdahoSports.com. I'm getting some feedback over here from our PA guy, who's saying we got to keep an eye on number 15, and that is Gideon Haney. Oh, I see why now. Okay. That is Mr. Haney to my left. So back deep to receive Gideon Haney, as well as I believe that is Lucius Comas. And there's the kick. And it's going to be taken by Comas inside the 20. Comas looking for some blocks here, tries to get to the near side. Spins off of a tackle, lowers the shoulder, but he's brought down by a whole host of Cubs coming out from hibernation, ready for some football.
That's right, but he did a nice job of getting some positive yards and keeping track of that ball. It looked like quite a few of those defenders were ripping at it. They didn't get the ball on the first kick, and this time they tried to rip it out of their hands, so good job by the return man.
So 1st and 10 here for the Knights. They're going to be setting up shop. Ball spotted at about, we'll call it the 33-yard line. And once again, they've got a very spread out formation here. And Driscoll rolling. He's going to dump it off to one of his blockers here. That's number 55, Henry Sunley. And he's pushed out of bounds near the first down marker. And we'll see if they give it to him.
Well, it puts a lot of pressure on the offense, the defense and the officials to make sure who's eligible. That essentially it's a punt formation where those upbacks are actually eligible. They're essentially the running backs in a normal situation.
So that is going to be a first down for the Knights, their second of the ball game. So 1st and 10, ball spotted now at the 44-yard line. Driscoll takes the snap, looking. They all go deep. This is a vertical play. And Driscoll is brought down in the backfield. That's going to be the Cubs' first sack of the night.
Well, and like you said, they had verticals. I'm sure the receivers are thinking they're wide open, but with only one blocker really in there, plus the upbacks, it didn't give Driscoll much time.
So that's going to be roughly a loss of 5 on that one. So 2nd and 15, we'll call it. But with this Logos playbook here, this is something that they can get back quickly. Driscoll deep in the gun. That's about 7 yards back away from the center. Driscoll dumps it over the top once again. This is number 34, Jonathan Morrill. And he is not able to get much of anything going there as the Cubs rallied quickly.
Well, and Logos is doing a nice job. They threw a couple routes. This time they tried to hit the middle with what would essentially be a screen play, but instead number 45, William Milage from Kamiah did a nice job of just reading it. They're only sending a couple of guys to force Driscoll to make a move, do his play, and then everybody else is essentially waiting back to see what they can do and rally up around it.
So 3rd and long, 3rd and 15. Driscoll in the gun, looking. He's going to throw this one deep over the middle, and it's caught! First down, Logos. That was number 55, Henry Sudley.
Well, there's one of those upbacks again. Again, you mentioned it, that mostly they're a blocker, but this time he's able to sneak out and do some damage.
Moves the chains back up the field.
So 1st and 10 there for the Knights. And they'll spot this one at the 35-yard line. Excellent play design there as the Cubs came with the pressure. They just threw that one over the top, over the coverage. Driscoll once again in the gun. Motion from Jonathan Morrill. More motion from the Knights. That is number 8, Seamus Wilson. This one, it's a gun over the top, and it's incomplete. It looked like there was maybe some confusion there as Lucius Comas and Seamus Wilson were both in the vicinity of that pass.
Yeah, no Kane for Kamiah is kind of clapping his head going, oh my gosh, that was a chance to kind of turn this possession around. But like you said, there's different formations, different guys become eligible as they move the different players around, and so it puts a lot of pressure again on Kamiah to identify whether or not that's a blocker, is that a guard, the running back's coming across, who's going to guard him.
2nd and 10 now after the incompletion. 4 wide receivers in the set. Morrill in motion, and that's encroachment there. That was some confusion. Number 64, Porter Whipple, jumped off sides.
Well, and it feels, from a defensive line standpoint, it feels like that's a guard, and it looks like he's going to pull out for maybe a pitch play, but instead that's really an eligible receiver who can run out there anytime he wants, which I'm sure Coach Holloway is going to be putting that in his pocket anytime they need that first down.
2:15 to go here in the first quarter. 6-0. In favor of the Cubs. Morrill goes in motion, a wraparound there, and they're going to pitch this out to Wilson on the far side. Wilson's got the sideline, and he's pushed out of bounds at about the 12-yard line.
Well, out there on the far side of the field, if the player, if they stay stagnant, then one of them is a guard and not eligible, which makes him a blocker, and one of them is a receiver who can catch the ball. In that case, Kamiah is matching up 1 versus 2, and so that always puts the defender at a disadvantage.
2:06 and counting as Driscoll surveys his options here. Got a 2-4-2 look here for the Cubs. There's a numbers advantage on the near side here for the Knights. Driscoll takes the snap, being pressured, steps up and dumps the pass off. And that's Jonathan Morrill who gets close to the first down stick.
So that time, the protectors we've been talking about stepped up on the line of scrimmage. That made them guards, and then the other guy stepped back. So it was actually 2-on-1 out there with 2 eligible receivers and only 1 defender. So Logos is doing a nice job of doing all these shifts.
Pickup of 5 for Morrill. Driscoll keeps it himself and tries to run forward, and he's brought down. A flag comes in late, and then another one after that.
Multiple flags on the play.
Probably a flag because the screen coverage is from from way back here in the back 40. I'm trying to get it so everybody is on the screen, but that means it's really hard to identify what's going on out there with those little tiny guys.
Again, if you have any complaints of the camera coverage, send that
Logos.
to
hold on Logos on that play.
Send that over to Paul, who will let us know. And then I'll forward that on to Jason.
That's right. That's right. He's trying his best, Dagan.
So there's the penalty. It's going to make that 2nd and 10 from the looks of it.
It'll be 2nd and 10 plus.
1:40 left here in the opening quarter, 6-0. Driscoll is going to send number 5, Paul Greaser, in motion. Takes the snap, drops back, surveys the field, steps up. It's a bullet over the middle. It's caught! Touchdown, Logos! Number 32, Lucius Comas on the post route, and the Knights tie it up.
Well, not only do you have a situation where you have mismatches as far as players and who's eligible, but this time you had Comas, who's a much bigger player versus O'Kane, and so he just ran that in route or that corner route, or the post route rather, and he was wide open just by body position.
So 6-6 the score. And now they go for 2 here. Driscoll takes the snap, rolls right. It's a deep corner route over the top. It's caught! And Logos converts on the 2-point conversion to Seamus Wilson.
Well, and there's that important 2-point conversion here. Not only does it give you some momentum, but it also starts to extend that lead, and eventually by halftime they're going to be super important.
So 8-6 the score after that 2-point conversion, and excellent drive there from the Knights as they Jason, they really seem to do a good job of keeping the Cubs off balance on that one.
Yep, that's right. The first possession for each team, the defenses won. This time, as we had hoped, the offenses won, so we got to see points on the board. So now it's going to be up to the defensive coordinators over there. Okay, how do you stop the power run up the middle by Kamiah, and what's your next trick to try and stop Logos when they're spread out so far that you can hardly see them on the screen?
So 1:34 left, and folks, we're going to take a really short break here, but we'll be right back here on IdahoSports.com.
It's time to elevate your finances. Introducing Ascend Checking, the new free checking account from P1FCU that pays you dividends. Earn 1.45% APY on balances up to $15,000. Plus, get online and mobile banking and mobile deposit with no minimum balance requirements. Level up your finances with Ascend Checking. To open your account, visit p1fcu.org/ascend. P1FCU, a Pacific Northwest original since 1938.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here to Moscow, Idaho, as the Logos Knights just put 8 on the board. I was going to say 6, but there's the 2-point conversion after, and now they're set for the kickoff. Back deep to receive for the Cubs, and it's an onside kick, and the Cubs got it. That was picked up by number 13, Quentin Millage.
And so you don't see that very often. So because it's an onside kick, the only players that can get it are just really the offensive players. And not only do they get possession, but he was actually heading to the house on that. So great job by the defenders actually wrapping him up and getting him down.
Watch out for those ladies. The red tickets around. Get your tickets.
So first and 10 for the Cubs. Ball spotted at the 39-yard line. And they got the chains set up wrong, but we'll adjust. So the Cubs are going to start in a split back formation here. 2 backs in the backfield. They're going to pitch this out to number 25, Colton Sams, who tries to get to the outside. Good containment there from the Knights, and it's a short pickup.
So we saw this play earlier in the game, and it had about the same result, and that's not Sam's fault, but that's a nice job rallying up by the Logos defenders, following, pulling guards, and setting up that edge on the far side and forcing him to have to slow down, and when he does, he's getting tackled.
Pick up a 3 there for Sams. It's going to be 2nd and 7. Pistol formation for the Cubs. They're going to hand it back to Sams up the middle. He's got a block, and he pushes forward, and he's brought down. And it looked like he could have bounced that out to the outside, but the Knights were able to bring him down.
Well, and I think the ball came out there really late as he was getting tackled. I think he had a helmet on the ball, and that was a heads up by the offensive lineman there to get down on it.
So 3rd and 5 for the Cubs here as they come to the line of scrimmage. Knights set up with 2 down linemen, and the rest are edge rushers. 3 down linemen, rather, and they bring pressure. They try to corral the back. That's O'Kane. He gets to the 2nd level. O'Kane! He is gone! Touchdown, Cubs! What a response there from the offense.
Yeah, we've seen a couple of counters off of that, a couple of different plays, but then they go back to ever steady O'Kane right up the middle.
Ever steady O'Kane, I like that.
There you go, and it's going to be super important to get this 2-point conversion because Logos got theirs, so now you're falling behind, even when you're scoring touchdowns.
12-8 now after the 6, and we'll see if they can get the 2. Cubs come to the line of scrimmage with a shotgun look for the first time tonight. 2 wide receivers in the set and 1 back in the backfield. Clute throws it to the corner. And it's good. 2-point conversion is good. You can see the official there just on the edge.
You see, spreading them out all over the place. He's catching on already.
So that puts the Cubs on the board at 14-8. And Jason, boy, the power run really effective there.
Yeah, it's so tough because you have to respect it all, and with the strength of the running backs, you can't come up there with an arm tackle. You have to make sure you wrap up and friends show up, and it has to be all 8 hats to the ball.
And folks, while we got a moment, we want to thank one of the sponsors of tonight's game. The professional sales staff at Perfection Tire in Kamiah is eagerly waiting to provide you with incredible service and the latest automotive products available. Perfection Tire can take care of all your tire needs and more, including brakes, shocks, struts, tune-ups, oil changes, alignments, and more. Jeez, there's more. If nothing is wrong with your car or truck now, bring it in and we will help keep it that way with our 30, 60, 90 preventative maintenance program. Stop in and see Dallas or Jerry at Perfection Tire in Kamiah at 107 East 3rd Street. You can also give them a call at 208-935-2999 or go online at www.perfectiontire.com. Perfection Tire proudly supports Kamiah Athletics. So after an excellent run there from O'Kane for the touchdown, the Cubs find themselves ahead 14-8, 24 seconds remaining here in the first quarter in scenic Moscow, Idaho. We again got the Moscow Mountains in the background. A slight haze from got some fire activity already in the surrounding areas. And we got two Knights back deep to receive. That's number 32, Lucius Comas, who just scored their opening touchdown. They're going to kick it his direction, but out of bounds. That was closer to number 34, Jonathan Morrill, actually. So that's going to be a penalty.
It is a penalty, and probably some respect to the kicking game of Logos, where much better to get the ball kicked out of bounds. You even give them a couple of yards bonus and hope they take it so you don't have to worry about covering all of the return men.
1st and 10 now. And once again, the Knights are going to come out incredibly split out here on the near side of the field. You got number 5, Paul Greaser, and number 32, Lucius Comas, who had that excellent post-route touchdown. And then on the far side, you got Seamus Wilson, as well as that's number 24, we'll call it, Asaph Greaser.
So we have an officials huddle, and I'm not sure if they're discussing what the call should be or what might be next.
And they're going to call a illegal kick there.
Okay. So you even get more yards. Yep.
So they're going to spot it at the 45-yard line. 1st and 10, good field position here for the Knights. Driscoll back deep in the gun. Motion from Morrill. And then the far side receiver, that's Greaser. And there was a offsides from the looks of it, but Driscoll's going to test it over the top, and it's incomplete. Seamus Wilson was the intended target.
Well, it looks like one of the matches that Kamiah has done is they put their defensive linemen back a half a step, so if they do that false step, it doesn't put them over the line of scrimmage. And so, again, it's going to be a giant cat and mouse game here between the defenders and the offensive schemes, and how can we match you, especially like, again, we have one defender at the bottom of the screen and two offensive players.
So 2nd and 10 after the incompletion, they go to Comas. He's been a regular today on the offense, and he pushes forward for a pickup of 5. Man, they are certainly liking the looks of Lucius Comas.
Yeah, and I wouldn't go. I would have to agree with him simply because, again, you got the matchup of him versus O'Kane. He's quite a bit bigger. Plus, you have a defender out here. A blocker out here for him if they throw that little bit of a screen route.
3rd and 5, 3rd and manageable as we call it. Again, 4 receivers, same exact formation. They work in tandem on either side. And then you got the 3 blockers / hatchback looks. 2 down linemen for the Cubs. Driscoll takes the snap. He's going to test it deep to Comas over the top, and it's incomplete. It kind of looks like Comas stopped running there. If he would have kept running, he would have been deep and gone.
Yeah, it seemed like they were stride for stride, and maybe just that haze a little bit, trying to find the ball up above you, behind you. You know, teams up here practice during the afternoon, and then all of a sudden you're playing at night. So
don't let him out of it, Jason. I'm a former wide receiver. I know how these things work. 4th and 5. And this could be a quarterback punt if they wanted to play it conservative. We'll see what Coach Holloway wants to do here.
And Kamiah doesn't have anybody back.
And it's a quick route over the middle. It's caught. From the looks of it, that's going to be a 1st down.
It is a 1st down, and it doesn't count as 2 catches, but he did look like he catched it. He caught it and then threw it up to himself and caught it again.
Henry Sunley with the tip drill catch, and that's going to be a 1st down for the Knights.
Kind of like one of those offensive players that is underneath the basket. He throws it up against the backboard a couple of times.
Oh, correction. It looks like they're going to call it a turnover on downs.
Kamiah will take over the ball.
Oh, Okay. So apparently Sundley was short of the sticks in the line to gain.
And that brings us to the end of the first quarter with all kinds of interesting offensive developments.
That's right. So, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning into this game here on IdahoSports.com. End of the first quarter. Kamiah leads 14-8 over Logos. We'll be right back after these messages.
You can't make summer stand still, so make the most of every last second with a new Toyota at Toyota's National Sales Event.
During Toyota's National Sales Event, discover our wide variety of fuel-efficient electrified vehicles. Toyota, let's go places.
Start the second with Kamiah going 1st and
10. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here to Moscow, Idaho. Under the lights, it's game night on the Palouse. And currently, the visiting Kamiah Cubs lead 14-8 over the hometown Logos Knights. And for those of you just joining us, you missed an action-packed first quarter, so shame on you. But here we are now. We're here to bring you more action in second quarter as the Cubs are hoping to bring some of that magic they had on their last drive, which resulted in a touchdown. And that's number 28, Dave Clute, who takes the snap. He's going to keep it himself, and he dives forward, brought down from behind by a pair of Knights. It was a pickup of roughly 5 or 6.
It's very fitting that they have the running back number on that quarterback because that's pretty much how he runs it. He's willing to give it away, but he likes to go north-south himself and gets nice positive yards right there.
On the 50.
2nd and 5. They hand it up to O'Kane, who just ran for that big touchdown on the last drive, and he looks like he's going to move the sticks. And rather, that was number 25, Colton Sams, on the carry.
Yeah, Sams does a nice job, too. He just gets behind those offensive linemen and puts his hand on their back, kind of feels where they're going to be, and goes the opposite way. So that offensive line from Kamiah is doing a nice job of getting a big push now that the game is in the second quarter.
1st and 10 now. High formation look here for the Cubs. And one wide receiver on the far side. Pressure being shown from the Knights. They bring it. And the running back for the Cubs, that was number 20, O'Kane, lumbers forward for another solid pickup of 5.
Yeah, and Coach Clute over there, I'd mentioned 3 yards in a cloud of dust. Now he wants 5 yards in a cloud of dust as a big old pile of dust comes back on the field.
I was going to say, that wasn't them, I don't think. Clute takes the snap. And he's going to keep it himself as he tries to get to the outside. And he's brought down, but not before he picks up a first down. He's tackled by Jonathan Morrill.
As you mentioned earlier in the game, Logos defenders were doing a nice job of keeping him contained and not down the sideline. This time he's able to pick up 7 or so and gets the first down.
So 1st and 10 now for the Cubs as we have a dust storm here in Moscow.
And it's not Kamiah.
They don't call it the Dust Bowl for nothing. And they're going to hand it off to O'Kane, who pushes forward once again. And my goodness, Jason, there's nothing pretty about this offense. They're just straight up battering ramming right down the teeth of this Logos defense.
Yeah, going old school. But again, willing to do it. The offensive line doing a nice job, as you mentioned, doing a good job getting big blocks without holding.
2nd and 5. Clute in the gun. And close to this on the near side of the screen, that's Quentin Millage. And on the far side, that's number 7, Everett Oatman. Clute looking. He's going to step up and roll to the right side. And it's incomplete. The intended target was his favorite back, O'Kane. And that's going to bring up 3rd and about 5.
Well, and this time, because they had such success, Kamiah comes out and tries to use a similar formation that they've used for that run play, come out with that pass play, but I imagine now you're going to go right back to Old Faithful.
To Old Faithful. We'll see we'll see what the call is here. Hey, what do you know? Old Faithful. They hand it up to Sams up the middle, who pushes forward, close to the first down to gain. We'll see where they spot this.
Well, and that's kind of the counter off of that. You've been thinking of O'Kane, and then all of a sudden Sams hits you with that quick give behind the line. Both those backs are not necessarily the tallest guys on the roster, but they do a nice job of picking their way through it.
And it looks like we may need the chain gang coming out here again, and that. Nope, we just need them moving forward. We're all good. 1st and 10 for the Cubs after that pickup there. And they are in business. They're closing in on the red zone. I formation look once again. Clute, he pitches this one out to the near side, and that is O'Kane, who runs into a wall of defenders. That was a collision, and that was Seamus Wilson bringing the hit as well.
Yeah, nice job by Wilson right there. We mentioned trying to make sure they get him corralled and getting him going east-west instead of north-south, which Kamiah likes to do a lot of. But now they've probed the outside. Wonder if we'll go back to the inside.
Pick up a 3 there after that hit. 2nd and 7 now. And the whole far side of the field's opened up. And on the near side of the field, they've got number 13, Quentin Millage, lined up. They're going to hand this one off to O'Kane up the middle. He's got a hole, and he pushes close to the end zone. They're going to spot this at the 5-yard line.
Well, and as a defender, that's kind of tough. You know he's coming right at you. And like you said, he runs over those shoulder pads, runs over those toes, and he's going to lower a boom on you every time. And it's just bang, bang, bang near the goal line.
That's why the coaches will say, go low.
That's right, yeah. But, Coach, he's 4 foot.
1st and goal. O'Kane once again picks up another couple of yards here. He's going to be short of the goal line, but now he's on the 3, maybe a pickup of 2.
Lucius Combs brings on the ball carrier at
Again,
the 3.
Kamiah just kind of methodical now. They came out with some quick huddle stuff, trying to get back on the ball quick. Now they're kind of slowing it down a little bit. Coach Clute and his guys kind of picking through what they like. We've seen some pass plays out of this set. Now all of a sudden we may see some more run.
8:20 and counting here in the first half. Clute keeps it himself and dives forward. And he's short. They bring him down right at the 1-yard line.
Well, and just like you said, that's a nice low tackle. Clute must be 6 foot, so if they bring him down low and quick, then he's going to be short. So it's going to be right down there on the goal line. There's a big old crowd of people on both goal lines right now. Got a better view than us way over here in the mountains.
On the goal line.
And we've got a timeout here on the field. And it's taken up by the Knights as they got to get ready for a defensive stand here. It's going to be 3rd down and looks like it's right at the goal line. So at the 1-yard line. Jason, what are you telling your defense here when it's 3rd and goal like this?
Well, like you said, I think you got to come out across. As you mentioned, you got to make sure you're coming across as low as you can, get him down quick. Don't let him to the outside. We've seen Clute a number of times kind of belly it out to the outside and kind of pick his way, so it's going to be important for get him down quick. At the same time, Kamiah has a couple of plays to go for here. They're not going to kick the field goal, so it's one of those you might see a pass play or something like that, or, again, good old faithful option where Clute gets the look whether or not you want to get O'Kane to the outside. Maybe the good old-fashioned triple option. That's my pick.
Knocking on the door. Logos is lining up on the line.
Here it is. Ladies and gentlemen, 3rd and goal. High formation look for the Cubs. 8:13 to go here in the first half. They hand it up the middle to O'Kane, and he punches it in for touchdown number 2.
Colton O'Kane punches it in for touchdown. Kamiah puts 6 on the board.
Oh, this PA guy knows what he's doing, let me tell you.
So the last time they were able to spread him out and kind of throw to the receiver at the far side of the field. They've had a lot of success running up the middle. We know they're going to go for it.
2-point conversion coming here. 20-8 the score. Now after that touchdown from O'Kane, his 2nd of the day. Now 8:11 on the clock here. One wide receiver here on the near side. That's number 13, Quentin Millage. And the officials here, not exactly sure what they're talking about, Jason.
I'm not sure either. They've already signaled might be equipment problem. Looks like they kind of directed somebody off the field.
Yeah, that was number 44, I believe, for the Knights. That's Gunnar Holloway. Oh, the coach's son. What do you know?
Yeah.
So Holloway's out there chatting.
Well, Coach Holloway was an official, so he knows these guys, and so there's a lot of respect that way. So I'm sure it's an equipment situation or chin strap or who knows what.
20-8, 2-point conversion en route. They hand it off to Sams up the middle, who pushes forward. No signal yet. And it's good.
A little bit of a delay there.
Extra points there for Kamiah.
It looked like I wasn't sure if they were trying to decide what had happened, or are you going to call it or am I going to call it? So either way, the players had unpiled and started to run away, and we still didn't know.
That's right. Well, finally, the 2 points are on the board, and Kamiah takes a 22-8 lead over Logos. Folks, make the memories last a lifetime by owning a digital game file of this game for just $9.95. Again, just the price of a gallon of gas. Just click the button in the top right corner to order. And follow IdahoSports.com on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Get updates, breaking news, pictures, and more. Click on the icons in the top left to follow us now. Our army of Idaho sports action photographers are covering games all over the state. We've revamped our galleries to make it even easier to find and order your favorite action shots. Just go to IdahoSports.com and click the Action Photos link in the menu.
Speaking of scores around the state, we have Prairie 26, Potlatch 18 at the end of the first quarter. Someone mentioned maybe no defense.
There you go.
But hey, offense brings the people to the game.
That's right. That's why we're here. No, we just go where Paul tells us.
That's right.
And Jason, just for a future camera shot here, you've got the moon peeking over the hill just directly over there. So stay tuned. That's probably going on my Instagram.
There is a game going on. Are you aware of that?
Oh, right. We've got a game, folks. Come on, focus. All right, so Kamiah is set to kick things off. Back deep to receive for the Knights. That's going to be at number 15, Gideon Haney. But they're going to go to the other guy, Lucius Comas. And Comas is going to take it from inside the 20. Comas gets to the sideline. He's brought down at the 38-yard line.
And a number of times we've seen Kamiah kick a couple of different kinds of squibs, and that may be why, simply because of the fact that he's able to get a really good gain with some decent blocking in front of him. I thought maybe for a second that was going to go to the house.
So it's 1st and 10 now. Ball spotted at the 38-yard line. Again, 4 wide receivers in the set, as there are every play with this Logos offense. Split wide. You may not even be able to see them on your screen full. You can see the 2 on the far side. Driscoll surveys his options. Motion from the Knights. That's number 55, Henry Sunley. But they go to Comas. Comas, he tries to get through. Good blockers there from the Knights. One of those blockers, number 15, Gideon Haney, as well as number 55, Sunley, who went in motion.
It's a little unconventional, but a nice gain right there. And really methodical about it. Nobody's in a panic for Logos. You got all kinds of time with 7:36 left in the second quarter.
2nd and 3 now after a 7-yard pickup from Comas. 2 down linemen for the Cubs, and then 2 outside rushers as well. 1 safety over the top. That's Clute, the quarterback, being the quarterback of the defense, if you will. Almost jumped off sides there from the Cubs. Driscoll runs off of a tackle, still looking. He's got to shovel it forward. He did have a receiver in the area. That was number 24, Asaph Greaser, so it's incomplete.
Well, new this year is you can do that in high school. You essentially, if you're outside the tackle box, you can throw the ball away like that. So be interesting to see if they identify if he was outside the tackle box. We mentioned because of the fact that you have the receivers and the linemen and who's what. Was that a receiver or a guard now that came back to the quarterback to help?
So 2nd and 4 now.
Should be 3rd down because that should be a incomplete pass.
Oh, and it looks like, yep, there we go. The officials caught it and are changing it up for us.
Which, not to critique Logos, because really you didn't get penalized on any of that. So,
well, don't you dare critique Logos. I mean, they fed us.
I know.
So we're on their side.
I'm still working on it. I'm still waiting for that moonshot. I'm waiting for the moonshot.
Yep, we're neutral.
Garrison's getting some looks from the fans going, wait a minute.
3rd and 4. And it looks like that lineman's close to being lined up in the neutral zone here. No call there. Driscoll runs forward, spins forward, and he's brought down. First down for Logos.
Well, in our pregame, we talked about the importance of the quarterbacks. We've seen David Kloot from Kamiah doing a nice job with his offense. This time, Jack Driscoll, instead of spreading it around all over the field, he just takes it himself for the first down, just runs north-south. There's not much defense left in the middle when everybody's spread out.
1st and 10. Driscoll in the gun. Motion from the far side. That's Greaser. He's going to throw a slant route to Seamus Wilson. Wilson's got a first down, and he's brought down right at midfield, or in the middle of the hash marks, rather.
Well, and again, because the formation, we had receivers on the far side, and the defense started to adjust, and they adjusted out of position simply because of what the Logos offense was doing.
1st and 10 now. Driscoll, he throws it over the top. He's got Comas. He's caught it! And he's brought down inside the 5-yard line.
And you have to believe us, behind the student section was a solo tackle out here.
And man, what a play there. That was about a 35-yard bomb from Driscoll to Comas. And they're knocking on the door. Getting the play call from the sideline there. They've got a numbers advantage on the far side of the field. Keep an eye on that. Cubs haven't seemed to notice, but there's a timeout. And this one's going to be taken by the Knights. So my goodness, Jason, we've got some more fireworks coming for you here in the second quarter.
And the $1 million moonshot.
And there it is, folks. You can kind of make it out on our screen there. And I snapped a good picture myself. So this would be one if we had one of those Idaho Sports action photographers here. That'd be their cue to go get a shot themselves.
Because we are looking for them.
That's exactly right. So, and by the way, if you want to apply for work here on IdahoSports.com, there should be an apply now button somewhere on the screen there. And, well, go find it. That'll show creativity, and that's what we're looking for here on this team.
But we're not sharing the food.
Nope. The food is for us, Jason and I, as the Cubs defense makes their way out on the field. And my goodness, Jason, what are you telling your defense right now when you know every player could pretty much be eligible?
Yeah, and this is the first time we've seen it down here at the goal line, and they get a number of cracks at it. So I think it's going to have to be identified quick and just trust your instincts and rally up the ball quick. Because right now you have that mismatch you're talking about on the far side of the field.
2 Knight players on the far side of the field versus 1 Cub player. Motion from Jonathan Morrill. Driscoll looks that way to the far side. It's caught. And O'Kane, what a play. Blasting through the blocker and blows the play up. That could have been a touchdown right there.
Yeah, and of course, depends on what's going on there. I think the Kamiah folks were thinking the defender was actually tackled on that block. But as an old line coach, I like the spirit of the offensive player right there.
And we'll see what the call is here, but looks well short of the goal line there on that play. And that was Jack Driscoll, who tried to keep it himself, and he was met with some stiff resistance there.
Yeah, that's right. I think that was Whipple blasting through there. Now that everything is condensed down, it almost helps Kamiah a little bit, but if Logos can keep themselves spread out, it'll keep them guessing.
Driscoll. That's going to send Haney in motion across the screen there. Driscoll fires a slant route. It's caught! Touchdown, Logos! Lucius Comas punches it in for his second touchdown of the night.
Very similar. They had him on an ISO out there, and that post route just brings him right to the ball, and his size versus the defender's size makes quite a mismatch.
So that's 6 more points there for the Knights. 22-14 the score, and now they're coming for the 2-point conversion because, hey, if you haven't noticed, there's no field goal kicking in 8-man. Driscoll alone in the backfield. He's got 7 options to choose from here. Seamus Wilson goes in motion. They're gonna hand it to him, but the Cubs were ready for that one. You could have argued that was maybe a horse collar from the looks of it, but
yeah, Wilson brought down to the back. Yeah, because the jersey's way off the shoulder pad. Well, we haven't seen that formation where everybody was so spread out, but what that does is it means that your center has to pick which one he's going to block, and then you have that extra defender. So it's going to be super interesting to see how this cat and mouse continues. Now it's Logos' turn. You've got to get that thing stopped. Kamiah gets the ball in the second half, and they have 4:51, which time hasn't been much of an issue for their offense, but you have got to get them stopped from blasting you through the middle.
Not at all, and that's something a running team, you would think the time would be an issue, but not for this running team when they're able to rip off 20-plus yard runs on the regular. And folks, don't forget, if you want to see any other scores happening around the state of Idaho tonight, check out the Friday Night Flash on IdahoSports.com, and Jason will be bringing you scores from around the state here and there throughout our broadcast, so stay tuned for that. But hey, did you know that you can make gridiron game picks this week? Compete every week against other high school sports fans and the so-called experts like us at IdahoSports.com for free. Win weekly prizes and the chance to be crowned the regular season picks champion. And I'll finish that ad at another point. But, I mean, that's a pretty cool feature.
Real quick, we have Genesee 22, Troy 22 in the second quarter.
And that is another one of our White Pine comrades here, the 1A D1 side of things. And Logos will be meeting those two teams at some point, as will Kamiah. And here's the kick from the Knights. They've tried an onside earlier. We'll see what they do here. And this is kind of a pooch kick into the second level, and they're just going to take it at the 40-yard line. So good field position for the Cubs, but no return either, which is what the Knights were hoping for.
Nice job by that young man, just falling down on the ground as four guys start to bear down on him. Four guys running right at him, and he just gets the ball and gets down quick.
Bear down, I see what you did there.
Yeah, there you go. Maybe not on this field. I don't see that written anywhere.
Right.
Arizona fans.
That's right. 1st and 10 now. Ball spotted at the 40. 4:49 to go here in the first half. Some crowd noise coming from the Logos fans, and they run right up the middle once again, and Sams is brought down, and there's a flag coming in late.
Old Sams punches through for 4. Brought down by multiple Knights on the play.
We'll see what the call is here.
You can player assist in college, but I don't believe you can do that in high school. It looked like he was wrapped up in some of that, but instead it was wrapped up around the face mask.
So face mask against the Knights is the call.
Face mask call against the Knights.
That's going to be a 15-yard penalty, and that's not something Coach Holloway's going to want me seeing.
Putting the ball on the 49 for Kamiah.
And it looks like it was the incidental variety, so that's only a 5-yard penalty. And they're going to keep it to Clute. Clute gets to the second level on the outside, and he's brought down. And this read option here is certainly presenting a problem here for the Knights.
Yeah. For Logos, they do that by formation. Everybody's spread out. Who's eligible? This time it's more of a classic look of you have that misdirection, false steps, false reads, and who might have the ball. This time Clute is able to get the first down.
1st and 10 now. Shotgun look here for the Cubs, and that could be a read option, and it is. They're going to hand it right up the middle to Sams. Sams bursts through to the second level, and that's going to be a first down for the Cubs. Looks like he was brought down by number 32, Lucius Comas.
Runs like this, there's a lot of work going on the lines.
1st and 10. Ball spotted at the 29-yard line. Sams runs right up into the middle once again, and he brings out another chunk of 5 yards.
You know, we talked about how Kamiah had almost gone methodical there. Now all of a sudden they're back on the ball quick, and it seems to be keeping the Logos defense on their heels.
2nd and 4. Pickup of 6. I formation look. Clute under center. Clute takes the snap. He hands it off to Sams once again, who bursts forward into the second level, and that's another first down for the Cubs.
And that clock is grinding. If it is a first down, they'll move the change. They'll stop the clock for just a moment. 3:23 left in the second quarter. Again, Kamiah will be getting the kickoff in the second half.
Puts the ball on the 19.
So first down inside the 20 now, and once again they're in the red zone. We'll see what the Knights defense can do here. I formation look. Clute takes the snap, hands it off to O'Kane, and he bursts forward for another pickup of 5.
Jonathan Moore
My
takes on the
goodness,
ball
Jason, the
carrier,
Cubs are staying on schedule.
Yeah, just chunk. Frustrating as a defensive team, just simply because the fact that they're able to just kind of pick you apart with all that misdirection and read options as you're talking about it.
Clute hands it off up the middle to O'Kane. O'Kane lowers the shoulder and drives into the end zone. He's already got the hat trick in the first half. Touchdown, Cubs.
Kamiah, run by
Yeah,
O'Kane.
O'Kane just almost looking for a defender to run over on that one. Just kind of blasting him forward.
My goodness, 3 touchdowns on the night for O'Kane. 28-14 the score, and they're looking for the 2-point conversion here. 2:40 to go. Kind of a 1-2 punch here from number 20, that's Colton O'Kane, and number 25, Colton Sams, the 2 Colts. And they go to O'Kane variety up the middle for the 2, and that's good.
Yeah, and then again, hats off to that Kamiah offensive line to be able to do that so consistently. Everybody who's here knows what that the ball is going to be heading north-south. Nice job by those offensive linemen to get big push.
So 30-14 after that run, and Jason, you and I have talked here and there throughout our broadcast together about a successful power run and just how demoralizing it can frankly be to a defense. If you're Coach Holloway over in that huddle right now, what are you telling your guys? They've had 2 back-to-back successful drives on you.
I would hope you could possibly save that for halftime, get your defensive guys. I think right now Coach Holloway's got to be thinking offense, burn all the clock. You can't give the ball back to him, right? You have to make sure that on this possession you get points, get it in, and maybe catch up a little bit, as well as make sure you take all that clock away from them, because we've seen it only takes them about 2 minutes. We've seen Lewiston a number of times with those 6-second plays, and right now you still got your guys into it. You just got to make sure you rally up around. They've had some nice returns. Maybe they can build off of that and then use some misdirections. They probably have a couple of things with that offensive formations that they can use. Probably want to save it for down the road, but you may have to use it right here just to stay within reason on the scoreboard.
Kamiah kicks off.
Back deep to receive for the Knights is the duo of number 32, Lucius Comas, who has their 2 touchdowns on the night through the air, and number 55, Henry Sundley, who also had a deep throw and catch. Well, he caught it. He didn't throw it and catch
Threw it up to himself and ran down there.
Good broadcasting there from Garrison Hardy. 2:40 to go. Again, as we've talked about, that's plenty of time for the Knights, and we'll see how the Cubs want to kick it here. And they'll just pooch it over the head of Jonathan Morrill, and that'll go out of bounds. And so that'll be another penalty.
And again, I think that's a respect kick. There's a couple things that can happen there. One is their defender can get down there and get the ball tagged down or get possession before it goes out of bounds. They get possession. At the same time, it keeps the ball away from the return men. We've seen them do a nice job, pick up 20, 30 yards at a pop. One of them is spring, and this keeps that from happening.
Ball gets kicked out of bounds, which gets an extra 5 yards and brings it up to the 45 for Logos. First down at the 45.
So ball's going to be spotted at the 45-yard line, first and 10.
Series, bring it downfield.
And we'll see what the Knights come out with here, as they've got, once again, those 2 bunches of receivers split on the far side and near side. Driscoll in the gun. Comas catches it once again, and he gets to the second level, and he's brought down after a pickup of 7. Lucius Comas having himself a night.
Lucius Comas on the reception, brings it up.
Nice gain. Looks like he was tackled.
Buck is his 9 yards on the play. Second 1.
Oh, must have been out of bounds because the clock stopped.
Second and 2 now. Driscoll takes the snap. He looked for a slant route, not there. Now he comes back to it, and it's incomplete. Excellent coverage there. That was number 28, Dave Clute, the quarterback. coming in like the quarterback of the defense.
Yeah, I think they're just happy with the incomplete on that, simply because I think I was filming, getting ready for a pick. So nice job there getting the ball down on the ground if you're a Logos fan. Now you got to make sure you get this first down here. Keep possession.
3rd and short. Motion from the Knights, and they're going to send, that's Haney in motion across the formation, and they fake the pitch to him. Driscoll, he's going deep over the top, and it's caught! But there was a flag there. We'll see what the call is. It looks like they want to call that offensive pass interference potentially.
Yeah, it looked like the ball might have been thrown a little short. Sorry, the cameraman was a little slow, but it looked like the ball was thrown a little short, and by nature, you're going to probably post up there as a basketball player and want to go up for it, or that could have been the defender draped over.
And they're going to call pass interference on the offense with that one. That against Lucius Comas, who made a great play, and that was number 7, Everett Oatman, who was there on the coverage and in the play. He looked like he fell down, which drew the penalty flag.
Yeah. Can't go back to instant replay. You might see that one here on this play. I mean, it was so successful. If you were able to throw it a little bit deeper, that was a nice play call. If you could just get a little more time, it seems like Kamiah is starting to inch their defenders up there a little bit closer to the line and cause a little bit more panic.
So suddenly 3rd and 2 looks like, 3rd and 15. It's going to be a bit of a different play here, but it worked on the last play. Why not try it again? They pump fake near side. They go far side to Seamus Wilson, who spins away. He's got the first down and more. Inside the 30, inside the 20, and finally brought down from behind. What a catch and run from Seamus Wilson.
It's a nice job right there. Again, young man gets the ball, secures the ball. Defenders are going to be draped up all over him, trying to poke at the ball, and he gets himself to the outside and gets that nice first down.
So 1st and 10 now, inside the 20, and just like that, the Knights are in the red zone, hoping to cut this back down to a one-possession game. Driscoll throws it to Comas on the near side, who's going to try to get to the outside, and he's tripped up by number 7, I believe. That is Everett Oatman on the tackle, the freshman. Good job by Oatman, by the way, a freshman bringing him down.
I was going to say, that's some heavy load, a lot of work to do there. You got a defender, and you got to bring him down by yourself, or a blocker rather, and you have to bring him down.
And they go over the top to Comas for the trifecta, and it's incomplete. He wanted a hat trick of himself. And for those of you keeping track at home, on the other side, Colton O'Kane has 3 rushing touchdowns, and Comas, he wants 3 receiving touchdowns.
And again, nice job there by Oatman over here by himself. As they rotate people away, that puts him in a one-on-one situation with their best receiver.
3rd and short. The Knights have already converted a 3rd and 15 plus already on this drive. Driscoll, and that was close to a false start on Driscoll's part there, but he takes the snap and he tries to push forward, but he's brought down. Excellent defense there from the Cubs rather. That was number 64, Porter Whipple on the tackle.
Yeah, Porter Whipple. Coach Clute had been highlighting him as one of his best defenders, and right there he shows why.
4 for Logos.
So it's going to be 4th and 4, we'll call it. Driscoll in the gun, 4 wide receivers on either side. Driscoll, he's going to roll to the right. He's looking, lofts it towards the end zone. It's Comas. And judging by the crowd's reaction, that was no good. So it's going to be a touchback, so that's an interception. Excellent play there on the coverage from Everett Oatman.
Yeah, that's that freshman again. You just talked about how he's out here by himself against one of their best receivers, and he's able to come down this time with the ball, which gives them 45 seconds to work with.
Now, the Cubs certainly have been able to move the ball quickly, but they are a running team. So we'll see if they can move it in a 45-second drill as opposed to a 2-minute drill.
45 seconds left in the half.
Well, just if you're a Logos fan, you got to make sure you're thinking sure tackle. Get him down. He's going to be trying to do all kinds of things as far as spinning and that kind of thing. Make sure you get him down.
1st and 10. Klude takes the snap, and he's going to hand it off up the middle, and that is O'Kane on the run. He's able to pick up 5, and they're just getting 5 yards almost every play. 30 seconds. Klude takes the snap, and he goes right back to O'Kane, who's into the second level, and he's upended past the first down sticks. That was a good tackle there from number 22, Max Hawthorne. And his head might be ringing a little bit, hanging on to the helmet. That was a good collision there and a good tackle.
Yeah, he went low. I think he might have a little bit of turf in his face mask there.
And that was a timeout taken by the Cubs with 18 seconds to go. So for Kamiah, we've just seen heavy doses of the run all night. What do they got with 18 seconds left?
Well, they've done, that's their go-to, obviously, but it's also a situation where I wonder if they have something set up where they've kind of have an option pass that does a couple of things. One, if you complete it, it's a big gain, and if you don't complete it, it should stop the clock. And so I would foresee maybe some kind of pass play here to DeGroot maybe.
Ladies and gentlemen, we just I had Dr. Story here in the Logos section come up to me, and he's got a TV, a picture of a TV where fans in I believe it was Remington, Washington, are watching this.
Bremerton, maybe?
Bremerton? Yeah, that's
Bremerton.
probably right.
Yeah, there you go.
Excuse my mispronunciation there for those of you watching.
You East Coast kid.
What do I know? But thank you for tuning in. 1st and 10 now. And they're going to throw a deep shot here. O'Kane over the top to Oatman, and it's incomplete. But, hey, there's that play design we were talking about. A bit of a wrinkle from what we've seen thus far in the first half.
That's right. And we just saw Oatman do a nice job catching the ball on defense. This time they give him a shot on offense. And, again, if you're Logos, you're just thinking if we can just get to halftime, get some of this stuff fixed.
And so the clock did not run there. There was 18 seconds, and unless that happened in 1 second. And there's a fumble! And it looks like the Knights may have gotten that. And they signal to the Knights. What a play there. Excellent awareness. And Logos suddenly has a chance with 13 seconds left to put a touchdown on the board.
And all of a sudden, because it didn't run, now you're happy about it, simply because now you got 13 seconds. Your offense is designed for this kind of stuff, and we've seen them have some real good success with throwing to the bottom of the screen.
That was Lucius Comas on the recovery. 1st and 10. Ball's going to be spotted. It looks like at the 41-yard line. And we've seen Jack Driscoll's ability to chuck it deep. And, hey, he's got a decent target down there in Lucius Comas. He's already got 2 touchdowns on the night.
And Kamiah seems to be backing up here a little bit. Klude is about 20 yards from the ball right now. Kind of the safety.
The rest of the defense is as well. Man-to-man coverage on the outsides. They go over the top to Seamus Wilson, and it's incomplete. Solid defense there from number 20, Colton O'Kane.
Nice ball placement. That way, if it was completed, he's going to be heading right out of bounds, and that way you'd be able to save the clock.
And we've got ourselves another timeout here taken by the Knights as Coach Holloway wants to talk things over, as it's going to be 2nd and 10.
But more importantly, 8 seconds left.
8 seconds left here in the first half. And while we've got a moment, we again want to thank the sponsors for Kamiah. The professional sales staff at Perfection Tire in Kamiah is eagerly waiting to provide you with incredible service and the latest automotive products available. Perfection Tire can take care of all your tire needs and more, including brakes, shocks, struts, tune-ups, oil changes, alignments, and more. If nothing is wrong with your car or truck now, bring it in, and we will help keep it that way with our 30, 60, 90 preventative maintenance program. Stop in and see Dallas or Jerry at Perfection Tire in Kamiah at 107 East 3rd Street. You can also give them a call at 208-935-2999 or go online at www.perfectiontire.com. Perfection Tire proudly supports Kamiah Athletics, and we appreciate your sponsorship. So 2nd and 10 now. 8 seconds to go here in the first half. Let's see what the Knights can come up with. 2 wide receivers on either side of the field. Driscoll deep in the gun deep man coverage on either side from the Cubs. Driscoll takes the snap, 2 linemen rush. He throws it towards Comas into double coverage, and it's picked off. What an excellent read there from David Klutz, who just, he was already, like you mentioned, Jason, 20 yards back, and he just had to shuffle over and make the play.
Yeah, and like you said, they had some defenders in his face. Pretty hard for Jack to throw that, Driscoll, to throw that ball too deep when you can't step into it. Now it'd be interesting to see if Kamiah just goes safe here, get to halftime, or maybe they'll try and wing something here and see if they can't get a quick strike. I imagine they'll just maybe do a draw of some sort. You know, they've had such good success running up the middle. They might be able to pick something apart right here.
30-14, 2 seconds left here in the first half. Let's see what the call is. And it looks like they're just going to take the knee there, and that is going to wrap up the first half of play. Folks, we've played 2. Our score in this one, the Kamiah Cubs 30, the Logos Knights 14. At this time, we're going to take a quick break here, but we will be right back after these messages. You're watching IdahoSports.com here in District 2.
It's time to elevate your finances. Introducing Ascend Checking, the new free checking account from P1FCU that pays you dividends. Earn 1.45% APY on balances up to $15,000. Plus, get online and mobile banking and mobile deposit with no minimum balance requirements. Level up your finances with Ascend Checking. To open your account, visit p1fcu.org/ascend. P1FCU, a Pacific Northwest original since 1938.
Some days, I choose the most difficult trail. I test my limits.
Taking the hard path isn't always easy, but I know it's the right way.
When I get done with my ride and I look back at what I've just accomplished, I feel amazing.
It takes courage and determination to do hard things.
But you can do them.
Quitting tobacco and vaping is possible.
You decide when. We'll show you how. Learn more at projectfilter.org or call 1-800-QUIT-NOW.
You can't make summer stand still, so make the most of every last second with a new Toyota at Toyota's National Sales Event.
During Toyota's National Sales Event, discover our wide variety of fuel-efficient electrified vehicles. Toyota, let's go places.
We're a valley-wide country store. For 100 years, we've been your #1 choice for food, fuel, farm supplies, and just about everything else you could need to get you through your day. We know you work until the job is done, and so do we. For gas on the go, or a little extra to help you get down the road, you can count on us. We are proud to employ your neighbors and to be a cornerstone of your community. We're valley-wide. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow, we're here for you.
Vaping sucks you in quick, and the more you vape, the harder it is to quit. Not to mention all the chemicals and health problems. That's why thousands of teens are joining My Life, My Quit. Visit mylifemyquit.com or text Start My Quit to 36072.
I'll provide kind of a general. Okay. Oh, it looks like we need to readjust the camera here. Nope, looks good. That's perfect. That's what we wanted. That's right. All right, let me change the scoreboard here, and then we can come back. All right, here we go. Or if you want to eat, actually, I'm fine with just leaving it screen like this. Okay. I'll hold off. We got time.
I'm a sucker for pulled pork. I don't need the bread, but I can't deny the pulled pork.
Oh, yeah, I get you. I'll put this back over here.
Okay, there you go. See if I remember it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, where did I put those pens? I had like 5 of them. Leave one in the binder? I wonder if they fell out of the bag or something.
Oh, you know what? I had one in my hat if you need it. I knew I had one on me.
Nifty.
Just didn't know where it was.
You are just holding out on me.
Huh.
Maybe it's in this compartment here. Okay. Yep, I'm good. I'm good. I've got pens. See? It was just in a different compartment. I know what I'm doing. I'm a successful broadcaster.
Never a doubt. Never a doubt.
The fans at home are just listening to the great music. So how many rush yards for O'Kane did you say?
120 on 15 touches. What was that, like 8.5 yards a touch?
Jeez. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's just... So we'll touch on the general side of things, and then we can go over, we'll revisit certain drives here and there, and then we can get specific with the players and dive into the numbers.
Awesome.
Jack Driscoll had 223.
Yeah. Well, it's one of those where we actually talked about in the pregame, and that's exactly what it looks like.
Yeah.
Just a tale of two different cities.
Yep.
Two different styles of play.
How many receiving yards for Lucius?
102. 9 touches, 102. 2 touchdowns.
Okay. All right, I'm ready when you are.
Woo.
All right, let's do this. 3, 2. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You are tuning in here to District 2 football on IdahoSports.com. And tonight we've got the Kamiah Cubs here at the hometown Logos Knights. And let me pop this scoreboard up there for you guys. As you can see, Kamiah came in and, they've been pretty successful on the ground, Jason. It's 30-14 at the half. And, they've just been running all over the place.
Yeah, and we talked about that in the pregame. Offensive line, hats off to you because you got O'Kane with 15 touches for 120 with 3 touchdowns. Sam's 13 touches for 82 yards. And Clute has a touchdown of his own. So that's over 200 yards on the ground already at halftime. 0 passing yards. They've attempted one during the live play, not the extra point. And on the opposite side, you have Logos coming in with Driscoll with 225 yards in the air with a touchdown, 2 touchdowns rather, and then Comas has 9 receptions for 102 yards and 2 touchdowns. So again, right on our pregame talk where we have the heavy run team. We're not even going to get a yard in the air, and we have the heavy pass team, and they're actually -6. Logos is running. And so one of those where it's just an awesome game right here. And if you're going scores around the league, I don't want to cut you off here, but we have Prairie is up on Potlatch 40-32 at halftime. And Troy is over Genesee 30-22. So very, very close scores all the way around the league.
A lot of numbers there.
So that is, by the way, on our Friday night flash on IdahoSports.com. So you can check the scores there. Now we've got a raffle going on right now, so things are still raucous here. What about a great crowd environment here for Logos? They're trying to do a whiteout, but we're needing some second layers here, so that didn't exactly come to fruition. But
it was a good start. It was a good start.
They tried. It's okay. But ladies, let's go for those of you who didn't see the first half. Let's kind of take a dive back into how this game got kicked off. And it started out by a couple of teams whose defenses showed up. It started out the first 2 drives, nothing came to fruition. But finally, Kamiah Cubs were able to punch it in and put some points on the board on the ground by who else than Colton O'Kane.
Yeah, and that's they kind of got us started, and then all of a sudden it was an offensive struggle, a bunch of possession stuff. I'm not sure we've seen a punt yet, so they're still on the shelf. But yeah, definitely one of those where all of a sudden, after a little bit, kind of like a heavyweight fight, everybody was kind of feeling each other out on offense, and now all of a sudden we're deep into the playbooks, right where they want to be. Logos coming out with their multiple formations and lots of people in motion, and Kamiah pretty much doing what Kamiah does, and they're just going to come out in there and smash you. O'Kane just coming right at you with a heavy load, 8 yards at a pop, and when he gets there, he is going to give you a pop.
That's right, and that it's essentially after that first drive, I would say the Cubs have been averaging about 5 yards per carry. It's been that kind of night. I mean, you look at 15 carries for Colton O'Kane for over 120 yards and 3 touchdowns. So this is a question I asked you in the first half, was if you're Coach Holloway with Logos, what do you tell your guys when it comes to stopping it? You know what's coming. How do you stop that run up the middle?
I think at this point, now that where you are, I think you have to go to plan B, which might be sell out a little bit more, everybody grab a gap and maybe get low on that defensive line. And they're doing a lot of that, but you probably almost need to sell out even more, because that's a heavy dose of what you're getting right up the middle, and you have to get them to go somewhere else. They've done a nice job of keeping Clute inside on some of that, but they're giving away the inside by keeping the outside solid. So I'd rather probably sell out, maybe a little linebacker defensive line tap game, kind of keep them off balance, maybe a couple of different guys kind of stepping up and stepping back, kind of keeping them off balance a little bit. But it's going to be hard to get Kamiah out of what they like to do, because this is game 3 and every game's been the same.
Especially if it's still working like this, why would they change things?
That's right.
Now, if you're on the Kamiah side of things, let's say you're one of those defenders over there, this is a tricky offense to be dealing with. We've seen it a couple of times where they think they have Driscoll wrapped up in the backfield, and he's able to dump it off to one of his so-called linemen. And then on the outside, if you're a defender on an island in some 1-on-2 situations, that's kind of a tough thing to deal with.
Yeah, and it seems like Kamiah is willing to give up yards, play the cushion game instead of play the pressure game. And so I think Clute's going to come out and do what they've been doing. I mean, Oatman's shown that he can be out there 1-on-2 as a freshman. Boy, talk about some heavy shoulders to do it, and came down with an interception. So I think they're going to come out with a very similar game. You might see maybe the 2 defensive linemen that they do send, maybe stack them a little bit, and then they play a little bit of a give-and-go game and kind of try and get a little more pressure in Driscoll's face, so that way he can't step into it. Because like you said, if he gets time, it's going deep, and those guys are going to catch it, and off they run.
That's right. So, folks, and that's kind of the where we are after the end of the first half, 30-14 in favor of Kamiah, and it's going to be interesting to see what unfolds here in the second half, as the clock was stopped at the 3-minute mark. But let's go ahead and look ahead, actually, at these two teams here. For Logos, they're taking on Kamiah right now. Next week, they take on Clark Fork. That's Friday, September 16th. On that one. And then for Kamiah on the other side of things, next they play Council, a Council team that beat Logos, by the way, 40-14.
But I would say, in Logos' defense, they're much improved. I did not see the film or any of that, and I don't want to take anything from Council because I lost to them in the state championship. But it's one of those where Logos is more practiced at their craft. Is just to wonder, is that Clark Fork game away? Is it at Clark Fork?
It is at Clark Fork.
This is a beautiful setting. Wait till you get up there. That is lights out. I mean, the mountains are even higher. It is beautiful. The last time I was up there, way back in the early 2000s, heard an elk walk through one of the clearings up there on the mountains. Everybody pretty much stopped, and I'm yelling, "Come on, guys!" But Coach, it's hunting season. So I mean, that'll be a good game. They can maybe shake off some rust. And if you have not seen this, whether it be on IdahoSports.com or live, it's going to be impossible to defend if you're kind of going into this game against Logos cold, that's for sure.
Well, and folks, just for those of you at home who aren't familiar with this Logos roster, this is a team that lost all of its seniors except now they've got one on the team, and that is Gus Brocky, the offensive lineman, defensive lineman. So I talked to Coach Holloway before the season, and he said, this is going to be a little bit of a project in that we lost a lot of guys, but hey, they're coming out and they're competing right from the get-go, and they're trying some new things, and I'd say it's been pretty successful.
Yeah, he's got his kids interested, the fans are interested, and quite frankly, they're going toe-to-toe against Kamiah, who's a proven playoff team. Coach Klute's got to be excited about what he's seeing as well, that his highly polished team is right on schedule, running at a 8-yard at a clip go.
So 40 seconds left here at halftime, and the Knights and the Cubs are getting ready to do battle once again to see who comes out on top. We've got 30 minutes, or excuse me, more like 24 minutes, because this is high school, not the NFL. 24 minutes left of action here from Moscow, Idaho. And again, what a beautiful setting. You can't see it right now, but if after this broadcast is over, you rewind to the beginning, you can see the rolling hills of the Palouse. You've got the wheat fields in the background. And then off over to the left of your screen here, you've got the Moscow Mountains in the distance as well. So just a glorious setting, and this is actually going to be the site of the future Logos School. And that's going to be quite a facility out here in these rolling hills.
Yeah, as they keep spitting and polishing this facility, it's going to get nicer and nicer. And we were here first, and so as they expand, maybe it's brisket and pulled pork. I'm a barbecue guy, and as the press box raises, it'll be heated, and so that way now that the crisp night air is starting to nip at us a little bit, it's going to be fun to see what happens here. It's also going to be fun to see what happens in the second half. Kamiah gets the ball first, and they've been so efficient. It'll be interesting to see if they try and do something tricky right here with the kickoff.
Back deep to receive for the Kamiah Cubs. Number 7, Everett Oatman. And by the way, that's a name we called often in the first half, as he played some tremendous defense against the likes of number 32, Lucius Comas. And often he had to cover 2 different guys in one setup.
Yeah, and Coach Klute's got to be excited about his future as well. He has 6 seniors, and many of them are on the line, but his son is a underclassman, a junior, and so you got some young guys out here too. So it's going to be a heck of a battle here in the second half.
Set to kick is number 80, Joseph Holm, the freshman wide receiver and defensive back. And here we go. Holm sends this into the second level, and it's going to bounce inside the 30, or close to the 30. And Oatman, he's got it, and he's into the Logos territory. He's inside the 30, he's inside the 20, and he's brought down. Oh, my goodness, what a carry there from Oatman.
Yeah, right on cue. You mentioned Oatman, and then all of a sudden he's just doing damage right off the bat.
So just like that, the Kamiah Cubs could be ready to deliver a serious blow here. So it's going to be first down, and we're going to spot this at the 12-yard line after that deep kick return from Oatman, where he took that from his own 35. So once again, we've got O'Kane and we've got Sams in the backfield. They go to O'Kane. He wants his 4th touchdown. He runs forward, trips forward, and he's into the end zone just like that. One play, and O'Kane's got his 4th.
Well, and again, nice job by that offensive line. He runs so low. He's right down low. He's got his hand on the back of the offensive lineman, picking away through there, looking for a defender to lay some boom on, and then he spins through and makes it to the touchdown, and quite a run by that young man.
So here's the 2-point conversion attempt, and they go to Sams this time. They don't want to leave him out, and he just barrels his way forward for the 2-point conversion.
Well, and fair's fair, I guess. That time you get the full. And so it's one of those where Sams did a nice job of just blasting through a hole, kind of followed O'Kane's system, and then all of a sudden there's 2 more points on the board. Going to be tough sledding for Logos. They're going to have to figure out something there with that, because it doesn't take much to head north-south. Now it's going to be Kamiah's turn. They have got to make sure that they figure out who's eligible, and Coach Clute is going to try and bow up here and make sure they don't give away any free points either.
So 38-14 after a very, very quick drive from the Cubs that lasted a whole 35 seconds rather. The Cubs are up 38-14 now, and Colton O'Kane, what a day. 4 touchdowns on the ground thus far. But hey, Lucius Comas on the other side, he wants his 3rd touchdown through the air. Let's see if we can make that happen.
Without a doubt. Offensive guys always like offense, so receivers are always going to be open, and Oatman over there himself is probably going to be saying, well, wait a minute, I want another pick.
So back deep to receive, we've got number 55, Henry Sunley. And then on the other side is the aforementioned number 32, Lucius Comas. 11:25 to go here in quarter number 3. And then set to kick for the Cubs. That looks like number 45, William Millage. And there we go. It's a line drive kick right down the middle, and this is taken by Sunley. Sunley tries to get to the far side, and we've got the play blown dead. I have...
Did he touch his knee as he picked up the ball?
Yeah, we're looking to see what the call is here. I think you're right, Jason. I think as he went down to pick the ball up, ref blew it dead.
Well, and that young man maybe been a shortstop, maybe in T-ball or whatever, so he knows he's got to get down low on the ball, but unfortunately in this sport, that means that you're down right there. That was going to be a nice return, and he had some blockers in front of him.
So 1st and 10. As number 5, Greaser, goes in motion across. And we've got some music playing during this play here as Driscoll throws a post route and it's incomplete. They were throwing that for number 8, Seamus Wilson, the intended target.
That had some zip on that ball. All 4, the 2 defenders and 2 offensive guys, is who's going to get that? Because they looked like they were all going to converge on it at about the same time.
For those who can't tell, Jack Driscoll plays baseball too.
Makes sense.
He zinged that one 20 yards down the field in front of his intended target. Now Driscoll has had a good night thus far, over 200 yards passing, looking for more. And we also have a flag here, so that's going to be a 10-yard penalty from the looks of it. Still 1st down, 1st and 20. Ball's back at the 15-yard line.
And with this offense, you want to push him back.
Driscoll tries a hard count there. 2 down linemen for the Cubs, and they bring them both. Driscoll gets it out to the side to Seamus Wilson. Wilson trying to get to the second level, cuts upfield, and he's brought down, and he gets back close to the original line of scrimmage.
Seamus Wilson.
Yeah, that's a tough one. There again, Oatman's out here by himself. He has a blocker on him instantly. The ball is thrown behind the line of scrimmage, and so you can get on the defenders quick and pick up most of that, plus pick up all of the penalty plus a couple yards.
So it's going to be 2nd and 6 now. And another bullet to Seamus Wilson, who's got it to the second level, and he's lopped the football. And it looks like the Cubs are on it. And they are.
Fumble after reception.
Seamus Wilson was in the open field, and he just lost the ball, and the Cubs pounce on it.
Boy, I hope I got that on film for the people at home. Simply because I was thinking he's cutting straight across and he's going to be making his move, but the defender was able to reach out there and just grab the nose of the ball, and out it came, and really heads up by the trailing defenders to jump on it and put a stop to that awesome play.
So 1st and 10 now after the fumble and the recovery by the Cubs. That's the first turnover of the night. And they're going to hand it off the middle to O'Kane, who tries to push forward, but he's brought down by the entire defense, essentially. A pickup of 1 maybe, and that's what Holloway's hoping to see more of.
That's right. But it also shows just how those running backs are just churning those feet all the time, trying to pick up that extra yard.
From the sideline, checks in number 22, Max Hawthorne. He's going to be the sophomore wide receiver and defensive back. 2nd and 9. Ball's on the 45. And they hand it off the middle to the fullback. That is That's actually a different fullback there. That's Kyler Usher giving a break to the dynamic duo of O'Kane and Sams.
They did a nice job of getting a yard, but not much more than that. So that Logos defense, like we talked about at halftime, really collapsing down quick.
3rd and 7. The Knights really could use a stop here. They've got, the looks of it, 2 down linemen, 3 backers over the top. Klude looking for some passing yardage here. They don't have a yard all game. He throws it forward, and it's incomplete. So that is going to be a 3rd down stop for the Knights, but we'll see what the Cubs do here on 4th.
Well, and that was a nice job by the defense. It was supposed to be a screen play. The receiver at the bottom of the screen ran right back into the formation, which would have been a pass by definition because he was really close to the line of scrimmage. And actually, because we were down behind, that was actually 3rd down, and this makes it 4th down, and so we're going to actually see our first punt of the game. But Logos isn't having any of it because they don't have anybody back yet.
Nobody's back deep to receive, so we'll see how this goes. This one's kicked high into the air, a spiral, and it's going to bounce back towards the 10-yard line. And the Knights, I'm not sure exactly why they dove on that. They didn't need to, but maybe that's some of that inexperience there.
Yeah, and it might have lost possession. I think the player would have been downing it, and so it's actually not a live ball for the offense, the punting team. But if he touched it and then it hit the ground and squirted out, because Kamiah came up with the ball, so.
Possession.
And they're going to call it Knights ball. So Logos, they got lucky on that one.
They did. And probably one of those little coaching at the sideline, like, okay, that is not a free ball. That is not a kickoff. You do not need to touch that one.
Well, you know, this is just a new culture that they're trying to breed here at Logos, in that a lot of these guys have never really watched football or anything like that. They haven't been to games, etc. So this is something that takes time here. Driscoll takes the snap, looking, he's going to roll to his right, dumps it off to Sunley. He put his knee down on that one, but they're going to rule this incomplete. The ball came out pretty quickly there upon contact. So that's going to be 2nd and 10.
Probably saves a little time if you're a Logos fan. And if these guys are looking for a game to watch, you can watch Oklahoma versus Kent State tomorrow, and so that way you can see the shining Sooners.
Or you could watch Washington State get run over by Wisconsin because the Cougs could barely beat Idaho. More on that in a moment. And Driscoll throws this one out to Comas. He's got his 10th reception of the night, but this time he's driven out of bounds. And what a good form tackle there by number 7, Everett Oatman, the freshman.
Wow, that's heads up right there. Like you said, not only did he have a blocker in front of him, but he also sent another blocker, and he wasn't having any of it. He was just able to again, form up. And a good sport, didn't try and throw him to the ground. Once he had him up in the air, he got him out of bounds, drove him back, heard the whistle. Let's get back on the ball and play another down.
38-14, and the clock is rolling towards 8.5 minutes here. 3rd and 12. Ball spotted at about the 10-yard line, we'll call it. So 90 yards of green in front of the Knights here as they go in motion. That's Jonathan Morrill moving up on the line of scrimmage. And then motion on the far side of the field from Greaser. Driscoll, he's going to send Comas in motion now. And they fake the handoff to him. Driscoll looking, and he throws it forward to Sunley. Sunley runs forward, and he's brought down after he was tripped up. And he's going to be well short of the line to gain. But the Logos trying to throw in some different wrinkles here.
Yeah, and we haven't seen that play. Nice job by play design, kind of running a little bit of a screen play. 4th down, same formation, but you could easily punt out of this if you wanted to with Jack Driscoll being quarterback, and Kamiah doesn't have anybody back as he drops back a couple of yards.
Driscoll, and it's going to be a rugby-style kick, end over end. That bounces past the 50 to the 40, and it's going to come to rest at the 34-yard line. So that right there was an excellent punt from his own 10 all the way to the 34. And that'll change the field up.
And all of a sudden defense shows up. We've been talking about offense, and now defense showed up here a little bit.
Come back the other way.
Well, it just so happens, Jason, that one offense needs to get rolling more than the other.
That's true. That's very true. speaking of offense rolling, Troy, it looks like they're rolling over Genesee a little bit, 46-22.
46-22, Troy leads over Genesee, and you can find that on IdahoSports.com, the Friday Night Flash, as just another run play here for the Knights, or excuse me, for the Cubs, as number 25, Colton Sams, takes that up the middle, and we'll call that a gain of 4, or 3 or 4 from where they're spotting it.
And Logos defense starting to shore up here a little bit better and getting them down. Instead of an 8-yard pop, it was only 3.
And they pitch this one out to the far side. This is O'Kane. He's got the edge. He's into the second level. Bounces off 2 tacklers before he's brought down by number 32, Lucius Comas. And O'Kane, he's already well over 100 yards now. He's looking for 200 at this point, but there is a flag in the backfield.
Yep. That might be a holding out there on the edge.
See what the call is here as the officials get together and talk it over. I want to say once again, thank you for joining us here on IdahoSports.com for Game Night on the Palouse, presented by P1FCU. Brought to you by our major advertising partners, Project Filter, Valleywide Cooperative, the Idaho Transportation Department, the Idaho Department of Health and Welfare, Next Steps Idaho, and your local Toyota dealers. So let's go places. So there's the penalty right there, and that takes away from more fantasy points for Colton O'Kane, who's well over 40 fantasy points right now. His stock's easily rising.
Also rising in the player of the game.
The IdahoSports.com player of the game. That's right, folks. Stay tuned afterwards. Jason and I will have that for you after the game. All right, formation look here for the Cubs. 1 receiver in the set. They go back to O'Kane. He drives forward, and he's brought down hard. Good response there from those front defenders there are the Knights.
Yes, and we talked about that at halftime, that they had to get a little more aggressive. This time they're able to stunt themselves right where they needed to be. That play had hit big early in the game. This time it goes for just a little bit of a gain, and it's going to be 3rd and 10.
That was a combination of Jonathan Morrill and Henry Sunley on the tackle. Back to pass, and they're actually going to get some yardage here, but not to be. And that was number 20, O'Kane, on the reception, but he was brought down immediately, and that's going to bring up 4th.
Yeah, and it almost looked like the defensive players could almost made a play on that themselves. Probably a little smarter to just make sure you get him down. But, yeah, that screen play, slow developing. We saw it just moments ago. This time doesn't have any impact.
And here comes a punt from the Cubs. Once again, nobody back to receive from the Knights. And this one sent high into the night sky. It's going to bounce inside the 40, inside the 30, and come to rest right at the 29-yard line.
And it looks like Logos had kind of corrected their mistake there. No Logos player ran down there and tried to gain possession on that. It's only going to be Logos ball unless somebody makes a mistake.
So 38-14 still the score here. 5:44 left in the 3rd quarter. And 1st and 10, ball on the 29-yard line for this Knights possession. Last time out, they had to punt it away on 4th down. Excellent punt by Jack Driscoll, but this time they need 6. As their defense has come out and stayed strong and done their part, they need to put some points up. Motion there from the far side. Jonathan Morrill wraps around almost like the Canadian Football League there. And Driscoll, that was a low snap, and he just had to follow on it.
Right, as long as he goes backward or sideways in motion, then it's legal. So you're right, it looks very Canadian if you're into that, but it's really one of those where you can't run towards the line of scrimmage like you can up north.
So now it's 2nd and 20 after a loss of about 10 on the snap. And Driscoll in the gun, 4 wide receivers in the set. Morrill, same exact motion there. And there's a flag thrown.
Looks like at halftime we got a little less sharp at our craft. Some of the plays that were doing really well and what was going on looks a little less.
Backed up a little more with the false start.
So illegal motion, the call there. That's going to be 2nd and now 25, we'll call it. So some tough sledding right now for Logos, but we've seen them convert long distances before.
That's right. This is almost their offense right here then.
Dave Clute at safety back. And that one is tipped right before it got to Seamus Wilson's hands. That would have been a big play there. But that was number 33, Caden Degroot, on the coverage.
And it's a good job that Jack Driscoll does play a little baseball, put some pepper on that ball, because all those defenders weren't able to corral it very easily.
So 3rd and 25, we'll call it. Not a lot of plays in the playbook for 3rd and 25.
Unless you're Logos and just throw it deep.
2 rushers right now, and they both go for Driscoll. He's got to step up, and he slings it over the middle. It's caught. Oh, it's dropped at the last second by Jonathan Morrill. He still would not have been at the first down, but they would have been close.
Yeah, they would have been close if he'd have been able to catch it and keep his feet. I think he would have gone a whole lot of yards.
4th and 25 from the 15 for Logos.
So this is going to be, something tells me that they're going to punt it away here.
Allegedly.
Back deep to receive is Clute, although he may want to back up a little further. They may just be playing it safe here, just like the Knights have. And once again, Driscoll with his rugby-style punt sends this over the top, and it's going to come to rest at the 36-yard line this time around. Last time it was the 34-yard line, so he's slipping.
Yeah. Well, and good hustle there by the Gunners getting down there. Again, Coach Holloway's probably going to do a little more coaching as the punt team. Again, you want to hustle down there and make sure it doesn't go backwards, but you do want it to go towards their goal line. So Coach Holloway's got to be happy about the effort that they're giving out. Their defense is showing up right now and really pushed Kamiah into a little bit of a bend here where we haven't seen them just power run like we did in the first half.
1st and 10 now. And they go to O'Kane, who gets to the outside, and a good form tackle there from, that's number 8, Seamus Wilson.
And sorry, Logos fans, I just jinxed you because they go back to the power run, and there it is.
Thanks a lot, Jason.
Sorry. But Kamiah fans love me.
Yeah, that's right. But Logos fed us. So.
That's right. Some delicious barbecue.
2nd and 2 now after the run from O'Kane as he adds to his total on an impressive day. Good blocking up front, and he's got the first and then some as he's out past the 50 into Logos territory.
Again, nice job by that offensive line from Kamiah. Unsung heroes there. Number 70, 74. Doing a nice job up there. And 45.
Ball spotted at the 49, 1st and 10. 2 down linemen for the Knights here. Make that 3. 3 linebackers over the top. I formation look. Clute hands it up the middle to Sam. Sams lowers the shoulder, and he gets another 5 yards, and the Cubs just continue to churn away.
Yeah, and again, that's Millage and Whipple and Wanaka, who are just doing a nice job up front. Just, they're getting 5 yards before they even get touched.
2nd and 5. This time they'll come out in the shotgun look. O'Kane on the far side, and on the near side, that is number 13, Quentin Millage. This ball snapped over the top, and they're just going to have to fall on this one as there were 3 Knights in pursuit, but that's going to be a huge loss and could change the momentum of this drive.
And there's that Hanson jinx we've talked about.
Yeah.
Oh, boy, you're doing a great job.
This cameraman is the worst. It's now 3rd and about 20. Well, we'll just call it 3rd and very long. I formation look here. Millage on the near side. And they're going to option keep this. And they fake it, and they're going to keep it himself. That's number 28, Dave Clute. And he gets to the 2nd level, but he's brought down before the 1st down.
Clute keeps it.
Yeah, it was, like you said, it was 3rd and Kamiah, and all of a sudden they brought it back to 4th and short, but it's on the far side of the 50, which is essentially their wheelhouse, and probably something that Coach Clute is thinking, okay, let's bow up here and get a 1st down.
4th and 6, and they jump on it. The hard count gets them, and that is going to make it 4th and 1. And suddenly, Kamiah, that's very convertible.
Yeah. Well, and the crowd was starting to get excited. The D-line was getting excited. They knew what was at stake, and hard to slow those emotions down.
4th and 1. Everybody on the line. Huge stop potential here for the Knights. Clute keeps it himself, pulls forward, and that's an easy 1st down. And that is just a tough pill to swallow. But here come the Cubs once again.
Well, and staying on schedule. This is, they kind of did a couple of different plays, but now they're back to who they've been, where they just fullback, option, lead, just some power run right up the middle.
1st and 10. Klude hands it off up the middle, and that is O'Kane, and he's got touchdown number 5. Unbelievable. Colton O'Kane.
Colton O'Kane from Kamiah finds a hole. Runs it in for a Kamiah touchdown. Puts another 6 on the board.
44-14. After roughly a 35-yard run from O'Kane, he's well over 200 yards, 5 touchdowns. Jason, he might be the IdahoSports.com player of the game.
He might.
I don't want to jinx it.
But don't worry, offensive lineman, I got your back.
That's right. That's right. So 1:46 now left in the third, and they go to Sams this time, who punches it in for 2. And just like that, it's 46-14, and Kamiah has put 16 points up on the board here in the second half.
46 here in the third.
So, folks, our army of Idaho sports action photographers are covering games all over the state. We've revamped our galleries to make it even easier to find and order your favorite action shots. Just go to IdahoSports.com and click the Action Photos link in the menu. Always entertaining and occasionally controversial, the IdahoSports.com Prepcasts cover every inch of Idaho. Hosted by Brandon Bainey, each Prepcast features one of our in-house experts talking about what's going on in your part of the state. Just go to IdahoSports.com and click Prepcasts in the menu to get caught up on what you've been missing. And hey, did I mention that get your gridiron game picks in? Compete every week against other high school sports fans and the so-called experts like Jason and I at IdahoSports.com for free. Win weekly prizes and your chance to be crowned the regular season picks champion. It's okay if you start now because your weekly winners get $25. If you're the regular season grand champion, you win $100,000. No, kidding. $100 and a $250 donation will be given in your name to your favorite Idaho high school athletic program. Best of all, it's free to play only on IdahoSports.com. So here we are now, 46-14 in favor of Kamiah, and the Cubs are set to send the ball off once again. Back deep to receive for the Knights is the pair of number 55, Henry Sunley, and on the far side, that is number 32, Lucius Comas. Comas with the only 2 touchdowns on the day through the air for the Knights. Set to kick this one off is number 45, William Millage. And he's had a signature pooch kick, and there it is. And this one goes over towards Lucius Comas, but it's picked up by number 24. That was Asaph Greaser, the freshman, and he's brought down at around the 25-yard line.
Yeah, it's a little bit unconventional, but we've seen those nice returns, like you mentioned, and that keeps that return game pretty quiet when you have these kind of squib kicks and all of that.
So Logos takes over with 1:43 left here in the third quarter, and they need some points on the board, and they need them fast. Which, hey, they can do that. So 4 wide receivers in the set. On the near side, it's the pair of number 6, Andrew Holm, and number 32, Lucius Comas. On the far side, it's number 5, Paul Greaser, and number 8, Seamus Wilson. And there's a numbers advantage here for the Knights. Not anymore, as Seamus Wilson goes in motion across the set. Driscoll looks back. He's going to keep it himself. He gets into the second level, lowers the shoulder, and he's pushed out of bounds for a pickup of about 4.
Driscoll in the keep 5.
Nice game. Obviously, you want chunks, given the time that's left in the game and the fact that you're right. They are a quick strike offense, but a positive game, getting the offense rolling.
2nd and 6 now. 2 down linemen for the Cubs, and the outside linebackers are playing man-to-man. This is another deep pass to Comas. Comas gets into the second level, and he pushes forward, and he's brought down maybe short of the sticks by just a bit, but close to the first down.
Yeah, and it's like we mentioned.
It's a first down I can't see from here.
So, sorry about that, and it was right there on the sideline. I was just going to say, with Oatman, you got to pick your poison, which he did. He just didn't let him down the sideline. He forced him back into where the other defenders were, and was able to get the first down. Clock's rolling, though, so there's only 13 minutes left if you're hoping for a comeback.
So 1st and 10 now. Ball spotted at the 45-yard line. 2 down linemen for the Cubs. Man-to-man coverage on the outside. Motion from Seamus Wilson. Driscoll looking. He has targets all downfield, but he's got a pursuer in number 70. And we'll see what they call it, incomplete. Number 70, Wyatt Wanaka, was pursuing Driscoll there, running for his life.
Yeah, nice job. Last time we saw him kind of, Driscoll pump fake him, got him up at the air, and then he was able to run. This time he kind of stays down in his defensive basketball stance and is able to keep him honest and force him to the sideline, and he runs out of territory.
So 2nd and 10 now after the incompletion. And the Cubs with that front 4 scattered throughout. There's Sams playing kind of a free safety role, and then Clute over the top of it all. 2nd and 10 as motion from Asoff Greaser from the far side. Driscoll throws it over the middle, and a big hit collision there from number 33, Caden Degroot on the tackle. That was Henry Sunley on the reception.
Yeah, Sunley, nice little catch right there. Nice secure catch, and DeGroot, nice job getting that hit right after he made the catch.
3rd and 6. Driscoll back to pass. He throws it to Wilson down the seam. It's caught! Into the second level, Seamus Wilson. And suddenly this drive has a spark.
When we mentioned positive yards, they haven't really been behind the chains yet. Got to stop the clock while they set the chains.
So 10 seconds and counting as the clock is rolling, and it looks like they're just going to settle here for the end of the quarter.
Not necessarily a bad idea. Just simply make sure everybody's on the same page rather than getting a hustle and then get a penalty and put yourself behind.
So that's the end of the 3rd quarter, folks. We've played 3. Our score in this one, Kamiah 46, Logos 14. We'll be right back after these messages.
It's time to elevate your finances. Introducing Ascend Checking, the new free checking account from P1FCU that pays you dividends. Earn 1.45% APY on balances up to $15,000. Plus, get online and mobile banking and mobile deposit with no minimum balance requirements. Level up your finances with Ascend Checking. To open your account, visit p1fcu.org/ascend. P1FCU, a Pacific Northwest original since 1938.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to IdahoSports.com in District 2 Game Night on the Palouse, brought to you by P1FCU. And Kamiah has run all over the competition tonight with a 46-14 lead. And boy, oh boy, has Colton O'Kane had himself a day with 5 touchdowns and over 200 yards rushing. He's going to be at least, an honorable mention.
Yeah, I would think so.
Logos, however, just had a big play off the hands of Seamus Wilson, and now they are closing in on the red zone and hoping to put some points back up on the board here. 1st and 10 as we start the 4th quarter. Driscoll in the gun. He's got 4 receivers. Comas and Wilson down on the near side. Driscoll, he's being pressured and he's brought down. And that front 2 there of Porter, Whipple, who just made the sack there, and Wyatt Wanaka, they're starting to make their presence felt.
Yeah, nice job with the coverage. Almost a coverage sack, which is hard to believe with all these guys spread out all over the place.
Driscoll in the gun, takes the snap. He's going to throw it over to Seamus Wilson, who makes the catch. He tries to get to the second level, but good pursuit there. That's number 33, Caden Degroot. And he's certainly starting to make his presence felt as well.
Yeah, and when we saw Oatman do it on the other side, this time O'Kane locks up, makes him run back towards the defense, and DeGroot's there to clean it up.
Same exact formation, same exact combos here for the Knights. 1 defender on either side over the top, and then the 2 linebackers shift out. Driscoll fumbles the snap. He's being pressured from behind, has to just run out of bounds to safety. And he was escorted there by number 25, Colton Sams.
Yeah, it was very nice of Sams to just let him out there. but kept possession, which is nice, simply because of the fact the ball was on the ground and he was kind of in a pickle. But they have it here in this important 4th down.
4th and 10 now after the loss of 4 there.
Let's go, man!
46-14 the score. And motion there as Comas goes from near side to far side. They're going to fake the pitch forward to him, and they throw it over the middle, and it's incomplete. Seamus Wilson was the intended target.
And playing downs right there. He has to catch it to get the first down, so that just falls incomplete. So a couple of scores from around the area. Prairie over Potlatch, 48-46 with 4 minutes left in the 3rd quarter.
1st and 10 on their own 30.
48-46. That's a
lot of defense.
Decent ball game right there. 1st and 10. Ball's going to be at the 31-yard line. And sorry if I cut you off for more scores over there, Jason.
I'm working on it.
Okay, all right. And, hey, college football is going to be back in the picture as the hometown Washington State Cougars travel to Madison, Wisconsin to take on the 18th-ranked Wisconsin Badgers. At least that's what they were last week. What could go wrong? Cougs barely beat a Division II opponent. 1st and 10 now. Clute hands it off to who else but Colton O'Kane, and he hurdles a defender and is brought down in the 2nd level. So pick up a 5 after the hurdle there from O'Kane. 10.5 to go here. And the Cubs' pace of tempo has gone way down. It's almost as if they're trying to run out the clock. 2nd and 5 now. Clude hands it off once again. And that's O'Kane, but this time he's not able to get anywhere.
No, that's exactly what Logos is looking for, that D-line right there, number 72, their only senior, just wrapping him up right there. That was Gus Grocky doing a nice job right there. And like we said, they all just collapsed in there. We talked about at halftime how they were going to power run up the middle. They ain't having any of that. Got to beat them with something else this time.
3rd and 6. Under 10 minutes now. And Clute pitches it to the near side. That's O'Kane. He tries to get around, but he's not going to do it, and that's going to bring up 4th, and we'll call it 4 or 5 yards here.
Brings up the 4th and 4.
And I'm sure the Logos defensive line coach is saying, watch the ball, please. Watch the ball.
4th and 4. Watch for the hard count here. We'll see if the Knights can stay disciplined and not jump. It looks like they're going to try to punt it, though, so they may not have to worry about that. William Malage back to punt.
Nice snap.
And a decent punt as this one kind of has a sideways spin to it. It bounces inside the 30, and it's going to come to rest at the 25-yard line.
Kamiah likes the punt.
So, once again, the Logos defense bows up and gets the stop. And the Logos Knights offense trudges onto the field, and it's been some tough sledding for them ever since the second half came aboard.
There has, but Coach Holloway has got to be happy with just the game within the game. We saw earlier with the punt, the young man from Logos ran down there and tried to make sure they got it. Well, this time a lot of that's been corrected, and that's going to be big going forward, regardless of what happens in this quarter in this game.
1st and 10 now. Driscoll has got 4 targets. Of course, he's got the 2 hatchbacks as well, and we've got a timeout here taken by the Knights.
Timeout, Logos.
And, folks, as we look ahead here for Kamiah, by the way, we want to thank our Kamiah Power Boosters by Mimi Poo Fund and Cloninger Foods of Kamiah. Thank you for your sponsorship and support here on IdahoSports.com.
And the defense continues up in Prairie. Prairie is up 56-46 now at the end of the 3rd. So 12 minutes left to see who gets to the 100 first.
56-46. That's a good basketball game up there.
Is.
I thought that started more towards the wintertime.
That's right. Well, it might be chilly up there.
That's true. That's true. Beautiful weather here tonight in Moscow as it's starting to get a little on the chilly side down here, but boy, it started out to perfection. Got the moon and the clear skies up there out here in the rolling hills of the Palouse. 1st and 10 for the Knights at the 25-yard line. We'll see what they come up with here on this possession. I have a feeling Lucius Comas might be targeted. Driscoll takes the snap, and he throws it to Comas. What do you know, on the slant route. And they are going to have close to a first down here.
Nope.
Yep, they're going to call it a first down. Oh, just kidding. I can't see a thing from over here. What do I know?
For the first down.
Okay, it is a first down. What do I know? Oh, goodness. They're actually paying me for this. 1st and 10. Driscoll once again in the gun. He's been busy on the Knights. Signal from the signal on the side there by Seamus Wilson. Driscoll takes the snap. He looks Comas's direction, and he had Seamus open, but he had to run for his life there. Throws it over towards him, and it's incomplete. 2 Cubs were in the area to receive that, but they would have been out of bounds.
Yeah, and ESPN camera work here. I got all kinds of stuff going on. I got quarterback going one way, the ball goes the other way. Sorry if you're watching at home.
That's the spirit.
Text Garrison.
Yeah. Send your complaints over to Paul at IdahoSports.com.
It was a penalty anyway, so the play really didn't count.
Exactly.
So,
it doesn't matter.
You know,
it's fine.
Let me film the moon again.
And it's going to be 1st and a mile here as they are backed up inside the 20 and the first down to Gaines at the 45-yard line.
And there again, that's that Kamiah defensive line pressure a little bit, really causing the holds and some of those things.
Jonathan Morrill moves up in motion here, and then that's Greaser going across the scrimmage there. And Driscoll steps up into the pocket, and he's hit from behind and brought down. That was number 64, Whipple, once again. And suddenly he's got 3 sacks on the night.
Yeah, and again, Coach Klute's got to be happy. Not only is it a lot of offense tonight, but that defensive line is really starting to shore up and do their job as well. And we've seen some coverage sacks, and now we have a sack.
So 2nd and very long. Driscoll takes the snap, and he's going to throw a seam route over the top, and it's incomplete to Seamus Wilson, was the intended target. But they got to continue to test those seam routes if they can.
Without a doubt. And if he would have caught it, then there's O'Kane, who's lowered the boom a number of times on offense, was going to probably unseat him forcefully. So that might have played a role. 3rd down and long here with 7:38 left in the 4th quarter.
3rd and very long. And they're just going to send it deep over the top to Comas. And he almost held on to it. Excellent defense there from Colton O'Kane, but Comas almost brought that down. That would have been the catch of the night right there.
Yeah, a little bit of a post-up move. We talked about it before where they just kind of throw it up there and see what happens. And this time there was no interference on either side. O'Kane needs a break here real quick, and a young man from Kamiah, number 30, jogs in and says, hey, I'll go in there.
That's Kyler Usher, who comes in on defense, and he backs way up because, hey, it's 4th and a mile.
And there's 2 of them and 1 of me.
And Driscoll's going to do a rugby-style kick, but this one's blocked. It goes back into the end zone for a safety.
Kick is blocked.
And that was blocked by number 64, Porter
Safety
Whipple.
For Kamiah.
Ooh, Porter Whipple making a play. That offensive line / defensive line. How many sacks? And now a safety scoring on defense. What?
Well, if you think that's, if he's in the running now for Idaho Sports Player of the Game, we'll talk about it.
This is democracy. I get a vote. I may not win, but I get to vote.
It's 1-1, so it's not going anywhere.
Well, I'm going to text his parents and see what they want to vote for.
Yeah, exactly. Wonder where that'll go. So that's the safety, and the Knights are going to be punting it away to the Cubs, who will then take over and try to melt the clock here with 7:25 to go here in the fourth quarter. 48-14 the score. And, Jason, this has just been a great game for Kamiah.
Yeah, and they've kind of well-rounded their game between the special teams and as well as the defense. It looked like it was going to be just a shootout there for a little while, but now they've really kind of had all facets show up, and Coach Klut's got to be happy with where his team is.
So Jack Driscoll will actually come out to punt this away because they're punting it. Although you do have the option to kick it if you want.
Correct. I would think at this level, because punters don't punt very far, well, I stand corrected. It looks like they might be punting.
That being said, we've seen the kickers from both these teams, and, well, you know.
Yeah, you don't necessarily want a pooch kick from here.
That's right. So Jack Driscoll is set to punt this one away for the Knights, and back deep to receive is the likes of Everett Oatman, who's had an impressive showing today, and they punted it before the whistle blew, so they're going to redo it here.
Because it's getting cold. Why wouldn't we want to stay?
Exactly. Let's slow it down a little bit.
Yeah. Because the kids are selling treats over there. They got macaroni and cheese and pulled pork. Let's sell a couple more of them as one of them walks by us.
That's right. That's right. They take care of us here at Logos.
And I think Oatman is thinking, I want to be the player of the game if I had an interception, an important part. How many solo tackles does he have? And then if he could not only have a great return like he had before, but get one to the house, maybe he's the player of the game.
And here's punt number 2 from Driscoll. This one's actually going to get to Oatman, who takes it. He's at the 45. He's at the 50. He's at the 45. Cuts across the field. Breaks off of a tackle. He's at the 40. He's at the 35, and he's brought down right outside the 30-yard line. What a return there from number 7, Everett Oatman.
Well, and they're going to have to restock that shelf full of running backs, and I think Oatman is thinking he wants to be in the running as the years start up here. Because Sams is a senior and O'Kane is a junior. They're going to be looking for another running back next year, so Oatman is thinking, man, pick me.
1st and 10 now. Ball spotted at the 30-yard line, and short field for the Cubs to work with as they want to put some more points on the board.
And that being said, looks like they got some young guys in here. Great job by Klut trying to make sure his future is getting brighter and brighter by the down.
And they're going to hand this one off up the middle, and he runs into a host of Knights. And that was that's number 7, Everett Oatman on the run, just like you called.
Well, and I was going to say, because the 8-man league is having these JV games are so tough, sometimes you try and sneak guys out there like now where you have the game in hand to try and give them some reps and try and build for the future while you're working in the present.
2nd and 10 now. And they've got number 2, that's Gavin Schoening at quarterback. And he's going to pitch this over to Oatman once again. Oatman dodges a tackle, and now he's going to cut it backwards. He's out into the second level. He gets to the 20, well past the first down sticks, and the Cubs are on the move.
Oatman breaks a tackle and pushes the sticks down for a first down for Kamiah.
So these young guys are getting in there and making a play.
Well, and not to take away from all the other guys, but Oatman's a workhorse, and so he smells the end zone. He wants to get in there.
So 1st and 10. And Schoening under center takes the snap, and he's going to hand it to Oatman, who is hit as soon as he picks the ball up, and no gain on the play. Checking into the game is number 62, Chris George, the sophomore offensive lineman and defensive lineman.
Well, now Kamiah, as you might expect, slowing it way down now, so that way you're burning up that clock. Now the young guys get a lot of reps, a lot of game reps, but you're also burning up that clock at the same time, shortening the game.
Second and 11, 5.5 minutes and counting here in the fourth quarter, 48-14 in favor of the Cubs. High formation look once again. Schoening takes the snap, pitches it out to the right side, and that is Oatman, who's looking for a block. Finally makes his cut upfield, and he's brought down after a short pickup.
Yeah, doing a nice job of kind of tiptoeing out to the edge. Okay, now what am I going to do? And like you said, he kind of picks his spot and blasts in there, but no gain. Good job by Logos trying to make sure he doesn't get to the outside, which he nearly did on the kick return moments ago.
So it's now 3rd and 10. Third and 11, we'll call it. Ball spotted at the 19-yard line. Schoening under the center. And he's going to keep it himself on the fake pitch, and he tries to get to the outside, being pursued by Suddenly, and he's brought down. Excellent pursuit from Suddenly, but that looks like they're called a horse collar tackle.
Yeah, but nice job, but play call. Hitting it upside, hitting it inside. We've seen it come to the close side of the field. This time he just kind of fakes that, puts it in his pocket. Unfortunately, his speed and the defender's speed weren't the same.
And we'll see what the official call is from the official, no less.
Well, and they not only have to justify the horse collar, but if you do, was it, what down would it be? Do you move the change? Was it be a first down on the penalty? Half the distance to the goal, all kinds of things like that. Kamiah believes that they're going to be going closer because they just broke the huddle and heading towards the goal line, but the referees are still huddled up trying to make sure that we're all on the same page. And they wave it off, so just a good tackle by that young man from behind, which you can tackle from behind, you just can't horse collar.
Yep, tackle made by Henry Suddenly, so great pursuit from him. So 3rd and 11 now. I formation look, the Knights could get another stop here. Have been pretty solid here in the second half on defense side of things.
I was going to say they might run the clock here, which means that Kamiah might slow it down even more. 30 seconds at a pop. Coach Clute just trying to get out of here, and
understandably so. Victory well in hand. 4:15 left in the game here. Clock still ticking. And they hand it off up the middle. Another short and steady run play. And that is a turnover on downs. And so the Knights will take over inside their own 20.
Defense creates the turnover. Logos takes over first after 4.
So 4:08 left in the fourth quarter here, and as far as the Knights are concerned, they're going to keep gunslinging it.
Yeah, well, you got to do your thing, and it's early in the season still, as well as we've been highlighting the other games around the league. You got to put up some offense, and so you got to make sure that it is as crisp as it can be for next week.
1st and 10. Driscoll takes the snap. He throws it over to Seamus Wilson, who's got a blocker in front of him. He's pursued from behind, and that's number 33, Caden Degroot, who came and brought him down. And it seems as though the Cubs have the wide set formations figured out.
Yeah, again, they played patient. They essentially sent a couple of guys up the middle, and then everybody else just played defense and tried to make sure that when they got to the edge, they had to go back inside. Good job by O'Kane right there, forcing him back so that way DeGroot was able to wrestle him down.
2nd and 4 now. Driscoll takes the snap, looking, and he's going over the top. This one's to Wilson, and it's tipped up into the air, and Seamus Wilson not able to hang on to it. That would have been a 40-yard bomb, but not able to bring it down.
Quite a little bit of a circus catch a little bit there. We talked about where another young man had caught the ball twice, essentially. This time I thought maybe it was going to be flipped up and the defender was going to end up with it. So what the heck? Incomplete pass. Let's try another one.
3:54 left in the fourth now. 3rd and 4. Driscoll sends Jonathan Morrill in motion, takes the snap, throws it out that way, and it's caught by Greaser. who gets the first down and a little bit more, and the sticks will be moving.
Yeah, that's good. And if you're a Logos fan, you want these downs. You got to keep working on your stuff and make sure that everybody's on the same page, get everything crisp again. And as you said, they're heading to Clark Fork next, and so it's about building confidence and Coach Holloway getting his guys building for the future.
1st and 10. After the catch from Paul Greaser. Driscoll surveys his options. 2 down rushers come from the Cubs. And he's going to throw this one high into the air over the top. And it's incomplete. Kind of a bit of a wrestling match there between Comas and O'Kane.
Well, and it looked a little bit like they switched. The defender was more on offense, and the offensive player tried to poke it away and make sure he didn't come down with it.
2nd and 10 after the incompletion. Comas has been targeted probably on a third of all pass plays here tonight. And why not when he's got over 100 yards in the first half? 2nd and 10. Driscoll takes the snap, and he's going back to Comas once again. He makes the catch, and he's brought down quickly by number 20, Colton O'Kane. So O'Kane's getting it done on the defensive side as well.
Brings up 3rd down, clock running.
Under 3 minutes, and we've got some kids over at the scoreboard over there throwing dust over it. So that's where all this dust is coming from. It's going to be 3rd and 7. Knights have converted the 3rd down on this drive already. Sunley went in motion there, and Driscoll driven back. And nowhere near the 1st down marker. It's definitely 4 down territory at this point. Why not?
Well, nice job by Sams there. We've mentioned his name a number of times on offense. This time on defense, he comes up, lowers the boom, and puts an end to that. I imagine we're going to see a punt here.
4th and 5. Nope, we're going to see a throw. It's over the top to Sunley, who tries to get away from a tackler, but he's brought down. That's number 45, William Millage. Brings him down and officially seals the deal for the Cubs. 2 minutes and 3 seconds to go, 48-14.
Yep, now it looks like both teams are sending in quite a few young guys. Again, trying to milk those minutes, trying to get some guys some reps.
It's going to be 1st and 10 for the Cubs. This one's spotted at the 41-yard line officially.
A lot of pointing and talking by both teams, especially on offense. Hey, we need one more guy as he comes in. Might need a tight end.
That is Gavin Schoening, the freshman under center, and the youngster that came in off the sideline lined up in the neutral zone. That was number 32, Logan Ringen.
The upside is he got his name on IdahoSports.com. I want to be the Idaho Sports player.
I just need to get in there and make a penalty happen, and I'm going to be on TV.
I'm in the books.
1st and 15 now. Schoening hands it off up the middle, and there's a hit right away. What a tackle there. That was number 32, Lucius Comas, once again, and number 30, Kyler Usher on the run. It's going to be 2nd and 15. No gain on that play. And there's Schoening, the quarterback, coming in from the sideline. They're taking their time with this. They just want to let the clock roll out. Minute and a half and ticking away here in Moscow, Idaho. And, Jason, where are we going to be next week?
We're going to be down in G-Town on a Thursday night football.
Thursday night football on IdahoSports.com. You know, it's either us or the NFL. Who are you taking? Like Jason said, we're the better option.
That's right. That's right. We get to watch Kendrick, who's been beating up on some folks. Genesee's hoping to correct some things, and looks like it might have been not their night over in the old Troy Trojan land.
That's right. The Troy Trojans come out on top over Genesee in that game, and we'll see what Genesee's able to do as they host the defending state champs for 1A D2, the Kendrick Tigers. And Jason, you and I were in the booth on the call for that game as they took down Cary, the Panthers, I believe, in the Dome, and that was an excellent game.
That's right. It's going to be fun next week, but tonight, man, guys are still earning their minutes, working their spots. Yeah, Kendrick.
Oatman, sorry.
So no, I was just going to say that Kendrick is, doesn't matter if you're the big school or little school, they got some really good stuff going on with their kids, and junior high team is rocking and rolling too, so Coach Hobart's got his guys right where he wants them to be. And speaking right where he wanted to be, they got a timeout down here on the field. Again, trying to earn one more rep on offense.
Timeout taken by the Logos Knights. And while we're at it, let's get oops. Well, I had my ad pulled up here. There it is. Oh, it went away again. Well, if I can find the ad, we'll go ahead and do one more of that. Here it is. The professional sales staff at Perfection Tire in Kamiah is eagerly waiting to provide you with incredible service and the latest automotive products available. Perfection Tire can take care of all your tire needs and more, including brakes, shocks, struts, tune-ups, oil changes, alignments, and more. If nothing is wrong with your car or truck now, bring it in and we'll help keep it that way with our 30, 60, 90 program. If you want to give the guys at Kendrick a call, you can ask for Dallas or Jerry. Give them a call at 208-935-2999. Again, that's 208-935-2999. Perfection Tire in Kamiah. Thank you for our sponsors across the state. And it's fourth down. We'll see if they can get this here. Oatman looking for a hole, trying to get that first down, bouncing off of tackles left and right. And he's finally brought down. It looks like it's short. And that's going to be a turnover on downs with 17 seconds left here. And the Knights get the stop.
17 seconds left in the fourth, and Logos takes over the ball on downs.
And the Knights offense takes the field. Quarterback Jack Driscoll in there hoping for some more yards. And he's got the duo of Seamus Wilson as well as Lucius Comus. And then on the far side, he's got Paul Greaser along with somebody else. I didn't see his number. Jonathan Morrill in motion on the near side, the far side. And that's another Greaser in motion. Driscoll steps up. And he's going to run out of bounds, guided out of bounds by number 25. That is Colton Sams. So that's going to be close to a first down, and it is a first down. So they'll move the chains with 10 seconds to go.
First run from Jack Driscoll, 10 seconds left on the clock.
So first and 10. And this could be close to the last play here for the Knights. Comus goes in motion. And Driscoll sends it high into the night sky for Wilson, and it's incomplete. That was O'Kane on the coverage. 5 seconds left. Nice. So do you got any 40-point plays over there? Or?
Probably not, but I do like the idea of just getting the reps. You know, a lot of times your older guys are a little bit better than your younger guys. So you got Kamiah out here practicing live versus live and going right after it. And so, you know, try that game winner. Maybe use it next week as well.
Last play of the night here for the Knights. Driscoll in the gun. And motion from the near side, that's Wilson. And he fakes, now he hands it off to Wilson. And Wilson looking for a hole. And he's brought down by Sams on the far side. And that's going to do it tonight. As the final score, Kamiah 48, Logos 14. Folks, we're going to take a very short commercial break, and we'll be right back after these messages to talk about, well, who we think our player of the game is. Stay tuned.
It's time to elevate your finances. Introducing Ascend Checking, the new free checking account from P1FCU that pays you dividends. Earn 1.45% APY on balances up to $15,000. Plus, get online and mobile banking and mobile deposit with no minimum balance requirements. Level up your finances with Ascend Checking. To open your account, visit p1fcu.org/ascend. P1FCU, a Pacific Northwest original since 1938.
Spoiler alert.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here on IdahoSports.com. As the final score again in this one, the Kamiah Cubs 48 and the hometown Logos Knights 14. You know, Logos, they had some things going in the first half, but Kamiah really slammed the door in the second half.
Yeah, they did. And you know, it's one of those where we mentioned in the pregame that Coach Holloway's got his program headed in the right direction, and you got to keep getting better every week, and he's doing those things. And so it's really one of those where Coach Clute, was disappointed last year. They thought they were a playoff team. They got banged up. They kind of got denied, and instead, they got everybody clicking and right on their playbook as far as power run, power run, power run.
And so, Jason, we always end with the IdahoSports.com player of the game. There were some pretty good options over there on that Kamiah team, but one player really stuck out in this game.
Yeah, Colton O'Kane did a nice job. He had 23 touches for 191 yards, 5 touchdowns, 191 yards, plus all of the defensive stuff that he was doing, which was outstanding. He and Oatman both at their positions out on the edge. So O'Kane was the guy to go with, and he'll be our Idaho Sports Player of the Game.
And kind of a beautiful scene here as the Logos Knights end with the doxology, classical Christian school here in Moscow, Idaho. And that is their song to wrap things up. So that's the end of the game. That'll be the end of our production here tonight, folks, here in Moscow, Idaho, as the Kamiah Cubs come out on top. And Jason and I will be coming to you live on Thursday night here in District 2 from Genesee. Thanks for tuning in. And